What up, chat? How we doing? What up, Bish? What up, Leka? MKC? What up, Steve? What's up? You trade NQ? I don't trade NQ that often, but I mean, if there's like a really high quality setup versus the other indices, I'll trade it. What up, Stein? What up, Joe? What do you mainly trade? I mainly trade the ES and oil for the most part. Those are like the two primary indices or futures that I trade. But I trade pretty much anything. I'll trade YM as well. Usually for broader term kind of holds like overnight on that. Oil is fun. I mean, it's a really nice moving asset. The reason I like trading is it loves to consolidate like this heavily. And then when it breaks those consolidations, it gets a volatile reaction. So it's usually more consolidative on the lower time frames than when it gets the overall breaks of the ranges. It's pretty volatile. So you can usually get really good risk to reward if you're on the right side of the move. Yeah, Vish. I mean, I feel like it's just on stream. I haven't really caught ES much. But I found other names that I love. I mean, yesterday I probably could have traded ES over oil, because oil just didn't go that well. I was looking back on it. I guess I was just a little too stabby yesterday, which is what it is, right? Nothing we can do now about it. Just look back, see what we can do differently. It's probably what I would have done differently, just been more patient. Nice, Steve. Yeah, I didn't really trade. I don't think I traded intraday at all today. I don't think I took a trade. Today will be our day. I'm in for it. The problem I have here, and I'm trying to wait. Well, actually, I'm going to wait for a few more people to get in. So probably like 7, 10-ish. Then I'll start diving into charts more. Just because where the hourlies are closing, I'm not over eager to dive in. Right? The hourlies are pretty damn aggressive. So no matter what, we may need a little bit of price action to play out anyway before there's any type of setup in general. Unless we're just looking for straight continuation on like the 15, which can happen, but we would just be in a very aggressive downtrend on the session. Even oil, range bound, gold, range bound. So we're just kind of waiting, see which way the overall market wants to make the next move. Evening, Com. I got screwed in New York today, though moved a bit too late for my liking. That's fair. Yeah, I feel like New York, I guarantee this morning sell-off got a lot of people off guard, but also probably a little trapped. Because we had this sell-off, then we opened up, all the way down here. And then we just based around this for hours. And then around that like 11 o'clock, 11:20-ish mark is when we finally started to make that move. I was interested in this, but I was already gone by like 11. So I ended up not trading today. What up, Ron? How you doing? Let's throw a quick little early poll in the chat. Just see how you guys are feeling. I'm only giving you 2 options. We will be doing a giveaway today. Let me check that real quick. I believe it'll be my funded futures now. Okay, yes. So we'll be doing my funded futures. And with that, I'll also IDK option 3. Vicious, why I didn't put it? I didn't just want everyone to slam, I don't know, or neutral. So we'll be giving away a My Fun Futures account. That is going to be the link for My Fun Futures if you want to use it. Either way, that's what we're going to be giving away later. 50K My Fun Futures. And then let me see if we have a... Do I have an exclamation mark My Funded Futures thing? I don't. All right. Since we're using that today, we'll throw that on stream. Ollie, it's in there now. It's just exclamation mark MFF. Vish, I don't know the exact answer for that. I know something Jake said on stream either last night, was if you win a giveaway and then you win another one, that's kind of like your rite of passage. And then after that, I think you can win. I don't know exactly how that goes. I'm sure there's a time aspect to it as well. But Jake basically told someone since they won a second time, if they win again, they get an account. So if you just get that lucky that you win 3 times, I guess you deserve it. I'll talk to Jake about time frames. Because I'm sure at some point we'll just wipe a clean slate and be like, all right, everybody's up for grabs. What up, trader? What I'm kind of watching is how ES reacts to this little resistance. And what this resistance is, and I drew these lines a little more extended to the left because I'm trading off of New York price action today a little bit. So we have this resistance from the morning consolidation, morning session. This one's more so from the end of the overnight session yesterday, and this one's just around New York lows. But what I'm paying attention to on the hourly charts is just these. Because to be honest, what do we do out the gate with this candle, right? If I want to be bullish, that's hard as hell to be bullish into. If I want to be bearish, what I would love to see is us consolidate for this first hour. And then maybe Asia 3-bar plays us. We go to New York lows off of that. Main reason I'm wildly open to being either way at the moment is these daily charts. We are now in uncertainty aspects of daily consolidation. No one wants to be here, but that's where we're currently sitting, right? Daily doji across the board, every name. RTY is a little bit weaker, which makes sense with inflation going higher. Small caps aren't going to be doing great. So we're kind of just anticipating, all right, how long are we going to consolidate for the most part? Problem is, too, we had the monthly close. And in the past 2 months, on ES alone, we are up 11%. On NQ, we are up over like 28%. If I move this to the correct spot, 30%. Got it. So slight rally there. A monthly consolidation bar makes a little bit of sense. Or just a broader pullback. We're at the point where I would just fucking love it. Doesn't have to happen though. We're trading session by session. So we'll see how it goes. What up, Beck? No, Vish, we appreciate that. Yeah, I just don't have an exact timeline, unfortunately. I wish I did. I set a wide stop on oil last night, got clapped. Yeah. I mean, it just sat in that range. I saw it made this, dude, we stayed in that range on oil until 2 in the morning. So I'm glad. I mean, I took my stabs, took my L's right to the chin. Is what it is. Someday we have those days. Wasn't my greatest trading, to be fully transparent. Y'all probably saw it. Wasn't the greatest. We were just range bound, and I was trying to Probably trying to force it, I guess, from a broader perspective. And we finally broke that at 2, got the rally, pull back all the way to where that range was, and then it was just a face rip. So we'll see what tonight brings. Oil's in a very tight range right now. While the indices are more bearish, obviously on the hourly, I really want to give it maybe like the first 30 minutes of this hourly, see what price sets up to be. I'm not overly interested in like scalping today. But let's say we can find a setup on ES where we can target like 10 points. I'd be willing to take it. Oil consolidates heavily. No, Vish, I didn't lose the eval. I risked like $660 on that trade. That eval's fine. It's just, you know, in the red. That was a fresh one. What up, 9K? I hit bullish for oil. Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, Bish, even though last night I did take 3 losses, it was spread across those accounts. So nothing got like smoked. But I was down 1.4 on the, or 1.5, 1.6 R on that funded. And then 600-ish on that eval. CL Polar Bear. Yeah, no, Vish, that wasn't, even with that much on oil, I think we had like a 30-point stop-ish, which the math would check out for that. So that'd be around 600. So that's not like crazy size. If I let that run, I would have to let it run 60 ticks for it to hit daily loss limit. Yeah, I either use tight stops or I'll run, let's say, 50 tick stops on oil and kind of let it work if I think there's a potential of 2+ points on oil. That's when I'll use those wider stops. But if we're in a range like we are now or like we were yesterday, I'm going to be trying to use tighter stops because in theory, yes, oil loves to spike. Even right here, it would be like a 35-point stop, let's say if you were shorting, or if you were trying to long about a 20 to 25 tick stop. Let's see. Oh, this can sound weird. Hey man, do you have any advice on the best path to take for someone that wants to make a full-time career out of trading? Biggest piece of advice from me would just be make sure no matter what your bills are paid. As long as, in the way, that's where my mindset is, as long as I'm guaranteed to have my expenses covered, I know I can trade perfectly fine. The last thing you want to do with trading is have your back against the wall to where you have to pay a bill and it has to come from your trading, let's say that week, or you're chasing a payout on a prop firm trying to get it as soon as humanly possible to make that payment, you know? But it's just taking it slow. You just really, it's hard because you have to make sure that you make enough, but also at the same time, you don't really care if you lose money, you know? I don't know. So I would just say take it slow. Make sure you have enough data that you can actually easily, what I would say is easily pay all of your expenses month to month. And it never hurts to have a secondary income somewhere, even if it's just something small on the side. Hey, KLY or Cly. I'm gonna call you Cly. Just so you know, I'm Ron G Trades. Rake is the main one on the channel. We have 5 people to stream throughout a 24-hour period. I'm the Asia session guy. And then we have a London session guy. We have New York Open, which is Rake Trades. And then we have a lunch hour and power hour. We trade the overall mastermind system, which is like a mix between a levels aspect that we use off of like a support resistance kind of aspect, heavy on multi-time frame analysis, and then heavy on trend analysis. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Brian, why'd you say just hypothetical? I didn't see a comment before that. And you said, don't answer that. Did I miss something? Oh, for some, yeah, no. So if you use words like that in chat, if you're on the top chat, your comment gets hid by YouTube. So that special word in there that you use that I'm not going to say because YouTube doesn't like it, I would just avoid using or put like asterisks. Yeah, don't look for it. Yeah, I read it afterwards. Wild comment to start the day, but what up, Rye? Back-to-back red trades on MES today. After the first drop, I shorted the retest of 46 or 7,600. 1,000% better than trading NQ, even with the losses. I'm learning a lot here. Jordan, my man, I love to hear it. It's a different, the grass is greener on the other side of NQ ES. I know a lot of people love the green grass on NQ. It's a wonderful, luscious field over there. But there's times where you have some serious fires in that field and it ain't all green. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows. But now ES, especially while you're learning, is a lot easier to trade. It is just a lot less volatile and a lot easier to trade. Yes, you'll make less on larger moves, right? Depending on the contracts you use, but it's not always a bad thing. I wouldn't even be surprised if oil retraced this entire move. I feel like I've seen it before. It easily could. I mean, if you look at the daily chart, all we're doing at the moment, we're at a point where we could set a daily lower high or a higher low. Oil has no problem with retracing things like this. Normally, we don't always do it off a green bar, but I mean, something like this, right? Rally up, consolidation, straight crash. So, and oils can be unpredictable like that. A similar setup to what we're kind of getting is something like this, but we obviously have a stronger green candle. I just don't see anything in the short term that looks very similar. Oil is just very finicky. So that's why I usually like to wait till it's higher quality setups on oil. Yesterday's probably an outlier for that, but I got stabby. We know that. Morning, KG. I'm almost over the buffer for the first time on my fund, and I feel like once it happens, the floodgates will open. Joe, being over the buffer changes everything. I mean, I'll be honest, I get a little more aggressive at times when I'm over the buffer. If I see a setup that I love, I would 100% be interested in it. And speaking of setups at the moment, there's something I can see on the indices. The only reason I'm not in love or like stalking to get in is because of this hourly candle. This right here looks like shit. No matter what way we look at it, it does. From the way I trade, that looks tough. However, we do have slight little push on the 15 consolidation bar. 5 minute is trying to set a higher low. If it does and it gets back over this 595 area, it could go up to here, but we could also be in a situation where we're setting a lower high. I'm still waiting for price action to play out, primarily because this hourly does not entice me across the entire board. So today might be a day of patience where we're kind of just waiting. The nice part is, though, if there's not a high quality setup on my session, Alan's session might be the juice today. It might be. KG, where are you at if you're saying good morning? Obviously, you're somewhere on the other side of the world. Oh, yeah. Is the channel that has the guy using the options gamma levels and things of that nature? Kyle, for the one, are you talking about Mitch? Because he trades the gamma. He is the noon. So like 12:30 Eastern to 1:30 Eastern every day. If you're interested in gamma, that is your time slot. That is the guy you want to ask your questions to. What is oil doing? Victoria, you don't want to see oil. Oil's doing the same shit it did last night. It's trying to get me in. It's trying. This is the exact same little, look, you see this? Breakout, little lower high. It's doing the same shit it did yesterday. It does look a lot more bearish today just because of the hourly failed to go higher. If we do break the lows, we can trend back lower. I'm probably just being a little too cautious on oil for the most part, but we're just stuck in this bigger consolidation. Jeffrey, during the New York session, the 9:30 a.m. open Eastern. And then for me on this session, I use the 6 p.m. Eastern open. From India, brother? Nice. RTY is even easier. It is. I would probably say outside of this session. Now, it can be fluid out like in this session. Just don't look at the 2-minute. Because the 2-minute chart obviously looks atrocious in this session. Since there's just lower volume overall. Which is why I don't normally look at the 2-minute while we're trading this. But no, RTY is really nice when it gets a quality setup. It's just when RTY isn't moving, it is a fucking nightmare to trade. Agreed, Vish. I think ES is way easier to size up on. But the thing is, you can trade like probably 15 micros, maybe even 2 minis on ES, and it wouldn't even equate to 1 NQ with the way the moves are. What up, Gael? We're down this 15-minute trigger to short into level. I like the idea of it just because I want to see the hourly spike lower. I want to see a spike low of this session, see how we react to that, and then look for a trade. So I just want to see us down here around 590s. That would be dream world. Nightmare situation is we get a small hourly consolidation and we just spend the whole time in between like 7,600 and like 75.92. That is nightmare situation because then we're just stuck. And I can see that happening, unfortunately. But if we do get above this area, there's a chance we go back towards 606, which is going to be from the pre-market. Just for now, though, I'm hands off until we see a test down near this lows and a reaction. Oil didn't have negative correlation this morning. Why do you think that is? Vish, it doesn't always have to have negative correlation. It's just a broader negative correlation across it. You're going to see times where we have the indices get more so this kind of rally while oil gets that move. And I guess during the overnight is probably what you're talking about. Because at the open, oil ripped while the indices pulled back in that little pre-market. So there was negative correlation there. But I guess the overnight is a fairly similar chart for the most part. So that might be what you're referring to. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be negatively correlated. I just prefer to trade it when it is, because that'll give me the most conviction. You're liking gold? What are you liking gold for? Which way you liking gold? How'd gold daily close? Because I don't even think I looked at that. Just like shit again. All right. Dude, there's probably been so many people cooked in this gold daily range. This is aggressive. I mean, besides that breakout, we are in roughly 133 point range on gold on the daily. A lot of opportunity, I'm sure. A metric shitload of opportunity. But that just looks horrible to trade. How are we feeling about gold? Well, right, there you go. MES Polar Bear, the buffer that we're referring to on the funded accounts is typically around $2,600 on a 50K. Once you get over that, well, actually, no, it's either 2,600 or 2,100 on certain accounts. It used to be 26. They might have changed it. But once you get past your drawdown limit, your drawdown becomes static at $50,100. So you no longer have to worry about, let's say, that $2,000. Like if you grow your account up to, let's say, $4,000 in profit, you have $3,900 in drawdown. So you don't have to worry about really getting liquidated. 3K on TBT. Yeah, there's a lot of accounts that are different, so you have to know which one. I usually just use 2,600 as like a rule of thumb for me. You can always just check your drawdown to see if it's trailing or not. Two comments later. Never mind. You see what I mean? Perfect. You saw it. Yeah, Vish, that can make sense. If you're trading 100K or 150K, yes, NQ can make a lot of sense. For me though, I don't trade those, right? I trade a 50K. And if I'm trading NQ, you guys know my average loss that I'm looking for, somewhere between like 200 and 400, depending on the setup. Is that coffee in the mason jar? Yeah. I'm usually looking at like 250 to 400 risk on a funded, depending on the setup and where the account's sitting itself. So if I'm trading like an NQ mini, I would need a 20-point stop, like a 12.5 to 20-point stop. And that's just tight. So I trade NQ, I usually go like 4 to 6 MNQ, depending on the setup, which can still make an astronomical amount of money. It's kind of crazy how fast we get like little 100-point moves and you can still make 1,000. Andrew, I personally just like ES because it's less volatile, especially on the lower time frames. Now, this session's not as bad, right? NQ moves very fluid during this session. Like right now, if let's say you wanted to take this entry for a long, if that's what someone was looking at, this is a very tight stop in general. You're looking like 15 to 20 points if you want to run it a little wider. Look for that move back higher, great risk to reward. If the hourly didn't look how it looked, I'd be interested in something. But when we get towards New York, it is just, well, today's not a great example because even ES was a little wicky, but just the NQ lower time frame volatility to me is something I don't love. Every single candle is roughly 40 points right there. So on a 5-minute chart, that means I would need at least a 50 to possibly 60 point stop on NQ. Whereas if you go towards ES, even this larger candle is 8 points, which isn't crazy, but a majority of the time you can easily find like a 5-point stop, which is usually what I run. So I've just found it runs a lot more fluid, a lot less of those little volatile spikes for the most part. And that's why I like it. Am I doing exactly the stops you're saying? Yeah. Yeah, to me, where ES gets a like huge volatile candle, it'll go 12 to maybe 20 points, where NQ is going 150 to 200 during New York, which is insane. Great if you catch it, horrible if you're on the other side of it. I also don't like MNQ because of the wicks. So if I'm looking to trade NQ, I kind of lean more towards the minis, but I would have to trade it during this session because of the overall risk I want on a position. Can't really have that risk with a mini for the most part, especially during New York, unless you are just an absolute sniper on the 1-minute chart. Yeah, MNQ, the problem is MNQ is just not, it's correlated, but it's not identically correlated for the most part. You'll get 10 to 20 points of slippage in one way or another on the wicks of that. And at that point, that's not something I really want to be in too much. Adrian, I would have to run all the stats and look at it again. Usually not. I want to say it's around like 60 to 70%. 70% on the peak when I'm just like nailing it. Because I take losses. Like yesterday, I took technically 3 losses. The biggest thing is, though, you guys have seen the risk to reward aspect of a lot of my trades. When in reality, if you have larger risk to reward, you really need like a 35% win rate to even be break even or profitable. But yeah, usually I'm not perfect. I usually have like 60 to 70%. 99% win rate. The funny thing is, we used to have people in the Discord. I remember exactly who, but there's been a few people. They would post like a 90% win rate. And you'll see it online all the time with people. They'll post win, 90% win rate, and it's just one day blows it up. And it's that day of losses that matters. Because it's phenomenal to have a 90% win rate, but not a lot of people can do it because they're not okay with the losses. And when they take losses, they take those bigger losses. So, I mean, I take losses. I'm wrong on trades. It's a part of the game for the most part. The biggest thing is just controlling the losses in general, which I feel like I do a decent job of. Sometimes I will take bigger losses than needed, but that's just stupidity. Yeah, Jordan. For the most part, yes. Because I used to try to trade exactly like Jake. Kind of spoke about it briefly last night. Yeah. I used to try to trade exactly like Jake, where I'm taking a trade and I'm trying to let that thing run to the highs and I'm not trimming shit. Now, there will be trades I do that primarily on like options. But even now, what I would find out is I would go up like 3R and I would just want a little bit more and then it would nuke down to break even and I would just leave it. Right? Because I wouldn't trail stops. I would just trade identical to how Jake trades. I found out I couldn't do that. No. My mentals could not handle that shit at all. Didn't like it. So for me now, the one thing I implemented is I will trim along the way. I do not care. Even if the chart, like if the chart doesn't say that I need to trim, but my gut is like, you need to take some off here, I will take some off. Just simply because I'd be a little more irritated if I didn't for the most part. But no, I trim a decent amount. But what I like to do is maybe first trim, I take like a third to a half off. And then I'd really try to let the runners do their thing. Because at that point, it's a guaranteed win, quote unquote, on the trade. Ollie, if you see anyone hyping up 95% win rates or the people that are like, oh, guaranteed profitability, run for the hills. Run for the hills, because that is a great marketing strategy. Absolutely phenomenal. Something too with strategies. I mean, it's really easy to teach someone how you trade, but it's important to remember not everyone's the same. Right? Jay can have a certain locked in win percentage with exactly how he trades, exactly his setups. But a lot of trading also comes with knowing exactly what you want to look for personally. And that's hard to teach someone. It's really hard to teach someone to see the exact same overall perspective on the chart that you see every single time at every single given point. So that's where you're going to see a discrepancy overall between strategies. You could follow someone that legit has an 80% win rate, learn their exact strategy, and you could have a 60% with that. And that's where a lot of people really struggle because they're trying to copy exactly how someone does. But that's the hard part. Like if you try to trade like stock market wolf, you'll never be able to, because none of us are stock market wolf. Win rate isn't as important as the size of your losers. Agreed. 1000% agreed. 60s to low 70s for me. Yeah. I feel like 60 to 70 with win rate is phenomenal. What up, Unorthodox? What up, Mike? I was gonna say, didn't you do that with YM? Ollie, not this last YM trade. I don't know if I still have it on here. No, not the last YM trade, the YM trade before I did. And I'm not even joking. That was because I just left the position going with the stop where it was. I woke up at like 8:45 and just closed the position when I woke up. But no, there are trades I do that on the overnights if I'm just looking to let them run. But for the most part, it's just kind of judging the charts. Like today, if I take a trade, I'm not going to take a trade. Let's say we somehow find a short. I'm not going to take one looking for 75 50s and planning to hold it all the way until the lows. Even probably 75 75. I wouldn't hold a whole position down there because we have so much resistance in the way. It's not the most picture perfect chart. If I took a long, I wouldn't be holding it all the way up into 630s without a single trim. So it all just fully depends on what I'm seeing on the chart and the overall structure. Yeah, Victoria, there was legit someone who would post, he would have like an actual 90% win rate that I knew, and he wasn't profitable because he would make $50 to $150, maybe even sometimes $400 on his winners. And then on his losers, he would lose $3,000. I'm going to break even pretty quick on NQ, and I do well, but it's wiki. I take Usually single trim, then move stop up, exit when I use discretionary pinching in between TP and stop. I like it. I like doing that as well. My biggest thing is once I can get a trade break even or risk free for the most part, not even break even. And like, let's say we long ES here. Let's say I'm targeting 611.50 at last week's highs. If I take a trim at like 606 and I run and I put a stop at like 95s, which wouldn't even be in profits, it would still be like a risk-free trade because no matter what, I would secure something. Agreed, Ollie. How you doing, dog? I'm doing wonderful, Orthodox. How you doing? The stock market wolf, my goat, one of them. I mean, it's hard to disagree in general that he's not like one of the goats in the day trading space. Also because he's not out here flashy, like, oh my God, look at my car, look at my watch and all this shit, flashing it. He's like, just look at my lifestyle. J-Dot, you know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. But good news, Lucid has 500 to go, and I won tops at 50K. Hell yeah, Mike. Did not save trade by pre-market. Fake outs got me. Okay. Yeah, I'm also being a little cautious for the most part because I'm $150 away from a max payout on one account on Lucid. So I'm trying to be patient and just take a really nice setup. I like the 5-minute structure here. If this was in more of an uptrend, I would be interested in longing this all day. I would. Like if we just had this kind of price action within an uptrend, I'd be like, holy shit, I'm taking longs easily. Throw a honestly probably tight stop at like 92 and let it ride. But because of what the hourly looks like, I don't love it. Because we could easily slam off of here if you're more bearish in general. This little 15-minute, we did trigger the sell and fill back up. So I'd want to see how this 15 closes. If we get back below the last 15-minute lows, that could be the push down to low of day. We do have a slight divergence. YM hit low of day, held so far. So we want to see how that reacts. I don't know if that would be enough to hold the market. I think we would need to see some of the other indices come down and test it. So I think YM is just leading at the moment. But even oil is not moving. So there's truly nothing for me to do yet. But I'm watching. Something that annoys me is SPX, ES don't line up. Yeah, the biggest reason for that is going to be because ES contracts. It changes every quarter. So it's going to move a certain amount of points every single quarter. So it's never going to line up perfectly, you know? What up, AXP? Shorted the open, closed half. Hell yeah. You're waiting for new all-time high to short again. Interesting. Yeah, risk-free, I take quite a bit of shots. Okay. So that's probably one difference. I usually like to trade less for the most part. But just it takes a shitload of patience. I shouldn't be on my 5th funded since April 30th. Well, Mike, you've proven that you can easily get to the funded stage. But it's just something when you get to that funded aspect where you struggling a little bit, my boy. Pass an eval finally? Hell yeah, Orthodox. Do you pay attention to Trump news or talks at all? I noticed some people are super locked into that. Some people don't care at all. No, not at all. I mean, if there's a huge thing that happens that is going to shift the market as a whole in one perspective or another, most of the time something is going to line up on the chart that you could trade off of anyway. But the overall tweets and talks and news articles usually just correlate with the structure of the market. And I learned not to give a single shit about news back in, way back, what was it, 2021? Over here, in like this part of 2021 when I started trading. Because I started trading right here on this dip buy. I got a dip buy February 1st, made $1,000 that week, thought I was king shit. And then it's like, oh my God, everything's going bad with the economy in general because we're pumping so much money. There was bad news articles all the time. Oh my God, recession's coming. What do? We just continue to rally. The market usually prices in the news events for the most part. So that's why I truly don't pay a lot of attention to them. And I feel like it's very easy to have technical analysis be overshadowed by news. And I'm a technical trader. I'm not a fundamental or a news-based trader. So for me, I usually don't care. I love to watch it. Like if we see a massive candle, I'll start looking at my phone to see what notification is going to pop up. Like, oh my God, what caused that? There's just times to know too, like if Trump's going to be talking or if there's a deadline somewhere, like let's say there's a peace deal deadline tomorrow. I don't think there is, but I'm just saying, let's see if there is. That's a day you're going to want to look at and be like, all right, probably going to get some crazy ass volatility that day. So maybe just be a little cautious. Yeah, HB. So you'd kind of be, the only reason I don't think it would need to take out the highs is because we already did on the monthly. We already spiked those highs for the most part. But I'm not like looking down like, oh my God, I'm bearish on the market. I could see a broader consolidation or like a daily pullback 100%. I mean, just look at the chart. We could use some fucking range. We've technically had 2 pullbacks if you want to count this 2-bar play or a 2-bar pullback and then this pullback. So we could use a little bit. But to me, it's just we'll see when and if. Oil with a little bit of a breakdown. See, why couldn't it just do that last night? That would have been lovely. I actually did do that last night. It did that last night and then it slammed right back up. Yeah. Unorthodox. I'm very interested in this consolidation. The only thing that just has me being cautious is the hourly chart because I really don't love this. And we have 18 minutes left until the hourly close. What makes sense to me, and I talked about this right when we jumped on stream. No, Chris, I'm cash so far. Right when we jumped on stream, and those that have been here know, I said, I want an hourly consolidation bar. Let's get Asia open and let's see if we can trade off of that. Because that makes the most sense. If this is a 5-minute chart, I wouldn't want a long here because of how bearish this candle is. I would need at least one more candle, so give me a consolidation bar. If I want a long, I would love the next candle on Asia open to slam the lows, take those out, get buying pressure back above, get above like 595s. Then I'm interested. Outside of that, I'd probably just be a lot of nothing for longs for me. So it's a lot of waiting right now. I can see shorter term potential, but I'm also looking at this 5-minute chart. I have this little resistance here that I marked out before stream. We're fighting that heavily. We keep getting sold off right off of it. It's not my favorite. I think I'd be more irritated if I took a long here and got stopped than if I just sat here and watched it move without me. Yeah, and you guys know I trade a lot of the 4-hour hourly type of charts. So there's going to be days like this where it's going to be just, all right, what do we do here? It's just a little bit of waiting, which is all right. It's a part of the job. Yeah, Mike. I mean, especially during uncertain times and stuff like war times, one tweet can easily rock you. While Trump is president, you should always be under the expectation that one tweet can rock you. Because that man will tweet whatever the hell he wants, whenever the hell he wants. That's why I use hard stops, no matter what. Cody, what I just said is you should have been able to see what I'm kind of looking for. I would love this breakdown into the lows. It could be a very viable short. If we are going to continue and your thesis is bearish, this is where I would start being more so interested in shorts, because then you look at the 5 minute, possibly getting this failed buy, I guess. More so looking for like a 5 minute type of sell. Give me this 15 minute and the next 50 seconds a weaker close. If we close above that, I'm not going to be interested. I would love it to push below 594.25. That's the only time I'd be overly interested, because we get a week 15. Or you wait till this 15-minute low gets taken. Then you look for the hourly potential 3-bar play to play out. I just don't know. I just don't know if I feel like we get 580s, which is why I'm also cautious on shorts. Because that would be the main target I want, would be short here, 2 580s. That is my target through and through. And it could work. If oil gets a stronger close and back above the open, that's where shorts could easily start to really play out. So the oil hourly will be interesting as well. If this gets bought all the way back up into an hourly fail to go lower, more of a doji candle with a lower wick, that could be a sign. Problem is the 4 hour is still a double inside bar, so that loses interest. I don't know. I just don't think this session is going to be that favorable so far. I don't. Easily could AXB. What I've noticed, and I actually want to check this real quick. I want to see if this is true. Because something I've noticed is usually the second to third week in June is a bigger pivot. The reason I know that is it's my birthday. Because we have third week in June there. All right, this one wasn't it. But there's been like larger market pivots in like the mid-June aspect. June right there, second week, third week. And I'll go back to the charts in a sec. Little high was set there. Third week, second week, third week, June right there was that pivot as well. So 3 out of the last 4 mid-Junes have been a broader pivot in the market. Not a shabby stat. Boy, bro, what happened 3 times? That destroyed your mental? Did I miss something? The problem is I'm like keeping up with chat and you guys reply and I gotta remember. What do we listen to? Steve, we are listening to an AI house playlist right now that our editor sent me. Favorite Lizewo song? That's a tough one. I don't think I've heard their new songs, so let me check real quick. The thing is, something you'll know about me is I am terrible with like names of movies, names of songs, things of that aspect, but I'll know them word for word. I saw Lizewo last year, dude, amazing concert. Crazy thing is, before they blew up, most people don't know this. Jake threw a private event in Cali, and he like got Lizewo to perform at that. And that was before their first ever tour. Now they have 4.4 million monthly listeners. Dude, there's so many bangers. Like Little Planets was one of my favorite for a long time. Messi's a good one, but I like the older ones. So like Little Planets, fucking Sunshine, like the older aspects like that. Colorado. Did I miss a trade? No, you didn't miss anything. What do you think about gold here? Probably already moved lower. I think it looks terrible. One thing I would pay attention to is the hourly close on gold. Gold hourly closes like this. What did we do? We failed to go lower right off the gate. Tried to get a stronger close just below the open. Now we're kind of pushing back lower after spiking that high. So we tried to set the hourly higher low. Failed to go higher. If we break below 510s, Could get a little bearish on it. Look for that move back towards New York lows. I don't know if we get that full trend or not, but that would be the way I'd probably lean, especially because gold broader thesis has just been down lately. Whole thesis has just been short gold. Yeah, Adrian, I mean, I'm probably going to look back at the chart and say, damn, I should have taken that short right there. But I want to see this hourly close. I want to see us react to the lows and then go off of that. And that's just been my thesis, which unfortunately, I'm going to miss a trade probably, but it is what it is. What up, Adam? Small consolidation or a lower high in the summer. The problem is summer is set up to trade like shit after the last 2 months of movement, which is wonderful because I'll trade Asia session and then I won't trade New York. I'll just be outside most of the time. Historically, June kind of sucks. It does. I think isn't it like June, July sucks? Oh shit, dude, Taylor, I was gonna say your name sounds so familiar. Every time I read it, it's in the back of my head. I just can't think of where, but it sounds insanely familiar. That's awesome. Thoughts on ES shorts to New York lows? Robert, I don't hate it. I mean, if I did, I would look for 80s. We would just have to fade this entire New York candle, which is harder. I think we can get there. I don't think it'll be the smoothest path in general. I'm just primarily waiting for this hourly and then going off of that. It's just the problem is I look at a chart and I'm just not in love with like a hell yeah, I need to be in this entry right here, right now, which leads me to be more hands off. Because the last thing I want to do is get stabby 2 days in a row. Because then it's just a shit start to the week in general. I'll take NASDAQ to 29. Jesus Christ, Taylor. You want 460 points lower by tomorrow. What up, D-Hype? That's why it all sounds familiar. Okay, so I have met you. That's why I'm like I just can't put a face to it, but by that name, like it's one name in the chat just fully sticks out. I'm like, I feel like I know you a lot, but that makes sense. That was a while ago. First week of August, so choppy, no movement ever. Fair. Hello, just joined. Might have missed your NQ outlook, but if you didn't, what's your take? Via VL. I'm waiting for this hourly close in 7 minutes, and then I'm going off of that. If we do break the lows, we can look for the continuation. The problem at that point is we're already looking to trigger on the 15. So we need to see how this 15 closes as well as the hourly. At that point, I'm paying attention to how we react to the Globex low. If we spike it and hold, there's a chance we range maybe even a little more upside. If we do break below with aggression, maybe even a retest of that low from below, I'd look for that continuation. Yeah, Andrew, if I'm in ES, you'll likely see me, like I'll post my trade. What I do now is you can see it on stream, but you won't be able to see anything. Would just be, why is that? Oh, nope, wrong thing. That one. I'll have my P&L on a trade that I'm actively in, which I haven't traded oil, so I don't know why that's up there, unless it's still up there from yesterday. Oh, Taylor, yeah, you're an OG, brother. It's crazy to think he runs Tradeify now. Like, what a wild world. And most people don't know he had that idea back in like 2021 to make Tradeify. So far, I'm glad I didn't short. And for those of you that just happened on stream, we will be giving away a My Fund and Futures 50K account at the end of stream. One thing we do need is for y'all to show some love. So hit the little thumbs up button. I like to see us up around 150 usually for the giveaways. If we don't even get close to that, it just won't be ran. Simple. I'll save it for tomorrow. But we do have new codes for the My Fund and Futures 50K. So hit the little thumbs up button below the stream. Like the stream. Show some support. Show some love. Help us get some growth. What is Simba Stocks? Victoria, Brett used to have a trading Discord. That's how I got into trading. I was following Brett on Instagram, saw a bunch of his like marketing stuff about the Discord, the trades, all of that, and I got in. Ren, look at your chart really quick. I'm going to use the Asia chart so that way you can see. If you are using the free version, you are likely 15 minutes delayed on data. If you look right up here, you'll see a D that says the market is delayed because you don't have this CME bundle. You need the CME bundle if you're using TradingView to be able to have the active data. If not, you're trading what happened 15 minutes ago. And that's not going to be very beneficial for you. So all you need is a CME bundle, which I think is like $7 a month. What entry, guys? I'm not in, brother. I'm still waiting. Yeah, it's like $7.50 or $8, something like that a month. It's cheap. Especially to not be 15 minutes delayed. Nice, Victoria. 50K by June seems unlikely now, unfortunately, but what? Bitch, I don't think that's how that fucking works. I don't think it's, hey, we're not getting the Jake's target, so we're going to lower it, and I have to do it now? Nuh-uh. M. Brown, there's no giveaway right now. Giveaways are usually at the end of stream for me. You'll know when I run it because the entire chat will be doing it. You typed it correctly, but there's just nothing open. Damn, Victoria, that's genius. I mean, that'd be the dream, just be able to have that for passive income so you don't have to do anything. It's crazy how we all have these like similar but completely different stories about how we got into trading. And that's one thing I love about the events is just talking to people and hearing their stories in general. What up, Elder? I went from Cinestocks to Wolf's program. Then I went to his in-person meetup, met Jake, and I joined his Discord for a while as well. Jake and Wolf are the kings. Agreed, Taylor. That's why I've met Wolf one time and he's cool as hell. He's such a good, like, human in general. Just a good person. Killa, I don't know that because I've never linked them. So if anyone can help Killa with his question in chat, I know y'all love to do it. Feel free. But I don't know the answer to that because I have not linked those. So we're coming into the hourly close. 30-minute looks like fucking shit, dude. I don't even use this candle much, but I'll occasionally look at it if the hourly just doesn't look good. My God, that looks atrocious. 15 has a failure to go lower, which is interesting. The more charts I look at, I'm like, all right, we gotta wait a little bit for some conviction here. What's crazy is I'm being this patient and I only need $150 on the one account. Talk about chop, yeah. Now, Vish, I know it's Asia Open. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that to open so I can go off of that. See how we react in general. Yeah, Ron, same as yesterday. There's a bunch of songs on there. So I just let it rotate in the background. I have it on shuffle today, so we won't hear the exact same ones as yesterday. We'll probably hear some of them, but there's no way you guys memorize them in one day. Bro, I swear every day around this time, there's like a bright flash that just happens through my window and I don't know what it's from. Either that or I'm tripping. I'm going to pull an Allen right here. Vish, that's the main reason. Like, I don't use any of the playlists that the others use because of that. Because if we all use the exact same playlist like we did in the beginning, and it's an hour and a half long, all you guys are just going to hear the same songs for 10 hours a day, and it's going to drive people insane. So for me personally, I have different playlists that I actually get from our editor, and I throw them on. Thank you today, fresh haircut. I got it last week, Rain. But yeah, how you doing, brother? Bright flash from Asia Paparazzi, Aliens, Asia Open. Started trading crypto in 2016. I learned everything I could. Options, candlesticks, price action, heat map, Bitcoin. Early into auto trading, then a bunch of shit coins. Cashed out and left for years. Nice, brother. Me and you had the opposite experience. I traded crypto for probably like a year, but I was just doing leverage crypto and I got smoked. And I got over and over. Hell yeah, Boyer. It's similar to me because I was welding for a while and I was just miserable. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love welding, but for me, I was absolutely miserable. Like on a broader term, I guess. Like I liked what I did, but just life-wise. Hell yeah, Boyer. Longer consolidates to breathe the pop. For now, it's just boring. We're also in between two levels. Market just needs to pick a side and get going. Yeah, SR, and that's just sometimes this session is this, but also sometimes New York is this. The only difference is when Asia consolidates, it kind of sucks. When New York consolidates, at least NQ's consolidating like 100-point range. You can look for some quicker trades. This is just a lot of waiting. It looks like this little retest might end up working out to the downside again. It's just, in general, structurally, this looks good for shorts. But individual candles, I don't know. I was a MIG welder, having HVAC ticket. Now I'm a machinist. Hell yeah. Love it, Rain. What's a gym split? I usually do PPL, Taylor. So I do push-pull legs, 1 day off, push-pull legs, 1 day off. So I have like an 8-day split, which is unconventional. Nah, Boyer, I fully get that. I fully get that. That's harder for you, though, because then you have to be obviously more cautious if you're trying to go full-time with it for the most part. Because obviously you have people to support. For me, I know I got to support myself. So if I fuck up and let's say trading didn't work out, I either just got to go get a job or I'm eating ice cubes for lunch and dinner. Any swings for the week? Not at the moment. I was watching hymns. I hesitated on it a little bit because by the time I went to get in it, I think it was already up a decent amount. What was it, like here-ish? Yeah. I think it was up around like here. So it was already up like 3%. I'm like, all right, how much more can it go? Well, apparently double that. There's a lot of names that ripped today. I mean, you have hymns up 6%. I don't know if anyone's trading like D-Dog, but this name has gone parabolic. Like, that's crazy. After this earnings, I know a lot of people like D-Dog, but that chart's been ripping. NVIDIA 6%, PANW, this chart is just absurd. CRM was one I was looking at going into the week, but after Friday's candle, I was like, all right, then we got this gap up, and I'm like, well, shit. Kind of missed where I wanted to enter because I wanted to retest around here, and then it just 10%. So the names I was watching, and you can see they're all marked already from this week. Some are red, so I haven't obviously looked into trading those. But some of them are decently green, like Hims in CRM, and it just didn't give an entry that I wanted. Let's see how we react to these lows. I'm not just going to blindly long them. What I would want to see is us hold the lows, get back above 96-ish if I'm interested in longs. If not, I'd rather see some type of pushback lower in a retest just to give some conviction. I do upper lower rest. Nice. Boyer, isn't that the nice part when you use those vacation days and most people are like, oh my God, I can't wait to relax for 2 weeks. Day traders were like, nah, fuck it, we're testing some shit out. Ice cubes low-key slap though. You gotta get a little bit of flavored water in there. Still watching Microsoft at all? I watched a little last week. Was it last week? I mean, it made the move without me. I fumbled a lot of swings because I tried to take them on too short of expiration. But if anyone took the trades we were talking about, I mean, over 430 straight into 470s, textbook. I got to go back and delete a lot of levels on here, so this chart looks terrible right now. We'll fix that eventually. But no, there's been a lot of charts that have made really nice moves that we talked about. I saw Hood's back in business for the most part. I mean, this chart, monthly, give me a little bit of a monthly consolidation up here. It doesn't have to happen. Maybe even just a few weeks. Maybe like 2 weeks up here. A break back over like 98s. And I think that thing can rip. Right. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are bored, brother. Pretty sure a lot of us are bored. Yeah, digital. I mean, it's definitely unsustainable to think, especially to like think that this will continue at this rate. like at just this aggressiveness. But we don't have to pull back aggressively. We easily can, right? We can pull all the way back to 7,400 and it can still make a daily higher low, which is insane. I would just a broad, like even if we get just a violent little range, not even something like this, something even maybe a little more wider in general, like a little wider than 200 points on ES. Give us a few months of that, which not the most favorable, right? Most people would prefer a flash crash because then we get a trend. But I feel like just a lot of more so unfavorable price action could be really nice. Yeah, so we're getting that overall breakdown. I mean, we did consolidate, but it didn't even get like a 2-minute that I would want to enter on. I'm probably being a little too hesitant today, but I'm okay with it. When I first started trading last year, I would use sick days and vacation days. See, you guys are smart. You at least use the vacation days for it. What I did was just not work. And it was, you know, my mom told me I was a shit employee when I was working for her at one point. So I just wasn't working. Digital, the main thing that would cause a flash crash would be if the Iran conflict just got extremely elevated. Because then broader term, you'd be looking at oil ripping back up to the 110s. Inflation would likely continue to rocket. And it would just be a really big bubble pop eventually. But even with that, we can go back to war and the market can keep hitting all-time highs. It's been happening for the past 2 months straight. So that's why I'm not anticipating like a flash crash. A lot of people are. But you'll see people have been talking about flash crashes since like here, right? So I'm just going to continue to follow the trend in general. I feel like at the moment, though, it's just going to be a lot of day-by-day trading where we may not have like the strongest daily bias. And it's just what it's got to be. Polar Bear, how'd that work? Did you get profitable in a month? Interesting, oil's struggling as well with the indices. I don't know. I'd be content if we rallied back higher on this. I'd be content with not taking the short. Because then I'd be like, all right, we held. I'd rather be cash than be in that. Yeah, Chris, I think a lot of it is because at that point, the war stuff was already fully priced in for the most part. To a global pandemic or a war with China. Holy fuck, dude. You want D-Day. You want straight D-Day to happen. Both of those are no bueno. Yeah, I mean, well, boots on the ground anywhere would definitely make that happen. Holy crap, I just looked at the poll. You guys went exactly 50-50 bullish bearish on that poll, which is kind of nuts. I mean, there was one more voter on the bullish side, so it's not like perfect 50-50. but it's damn near 50-50. Yep, someone just went bullish. Flipped it. Now you guys are fighting. Now bulls are winning. Just saying. Oh, we're back to bearish. All right, now we're in a battle. Every time it gets to like 51%, someone votes the other side. Is that the goal now? You guys going to keep that perfect 50-50 the entire stream? 990, you heard it here first. Taylor, it could. NQ is definitely weaker than ES right now. Definitely weaker. What's that daily? If we could blow yesterday's low, we could see a pullback. 990s. I feel like something would need to come out for 990s. If we get some high volume volatility news aspect to pop off, then I would expect 990s. 144 votes, but 83 likes. Yeah, Jordan, the chat just hates me. Nothing I can do about it. What up, Stock Market Jay? I'm pretty sure most people would like to see a pullback, which is why we keep rallying back higher. Could you just take the giveaway? You got to win it fair and square. $15 closed week. So is this just going to be a retest to push back lower? Yeah, likely. You know what's crazy? And let me know if anyone else does this. So that candle right there, when we saw that green, if we go back 3 years ago, I would have longed that almost immediately. So I'd be like, oh my God, we're holding the lows. This is the low. We're going to lock it in. I'm going to long it now because we spiked that hourly low and I'd be anticipating it to absolutely face rip. And then most of the time it would just completely mantle. So now I look at it and I just immediately get flashbacks. I'm like, back in the day, I would just yeet that candle all day. Bro, like that. All right, B. Y'all didn't tell me my light wasn't on. Polar Bear is punching the air right now because I just said that. Just straight punching the air. Sorry, brother. R.I.P. I'm full port, MES short. Beautiful. By the way, Bears are now winning in the poll. Good luck. Jay, it's sick. Jay. Polar Bear, there are people that do that. I've known people who watch certain traders and they just fade their trades. Like someone will go long and they'll short, or they'll see someone in chat and they'll do that as like jokes. Sometimes it actually works. I was looking for an oil bounce here, but it seems very 50-50. Yeah, I mean, you can see how it reacts to like 91.40s, which would be this New York kind of consolidation area. I don't hate the idea of that. Get something kind of like this. Let me zoom in so I can extend this. I'd want to see how it reacts to that if I'm looking along, or get back above 92. That's where I'm watching. Nice. Beautiful. The unfortunate part is we got a beautiful retest of that area I had marked, but I was too focused on paying attention to the hourly low. But at least I'm not losing money. Could be worse. GC trying to chug along. Is it going down? I would anticipate it to be. GC is ugly as hell. It's trying. It's really trying to go nowhere. Thinking about MNQ short. You're short in MNQ here. Yeah, my main target if I did short this would have been like 82s, which would have been a nice trade. Probably would have been something, let's just say you got in there a little later. Throw a stop like that. Look for something like that. But if we didn't hit 82s, I'd still be in the trade no matter what. So if we do hold here, which would be interesting. 15 minutes, something you want to pay attention to. 5 and 15-minute closes. 2-minute keeps trying. There's the occasional bull that's stepping in here, really trying to do something. They ain't got enough buying pressure yet. Yeah, Acer, I don't know if you were on earlier, but I did talk about that. I said if we get lower, I don't think it'll just be a shot straight down. I think it'd be more of like a slow, methodical move. Jordan, you're in that trade? Nice. I think that would have been the best entry, which I'm fairly certain I talked about, but just didn't take. 1-minute chart on GC showing some gaps. Brother, the 5-minute chart on gold is showing gaps. You don't even have to go to the 1 minute. There's gaps on the 5. Hell, there's gaps on the 15. Good luck. Yeah, Jordan, that's the hardest part is when you're in those kind of trades and it's just that slow, methodical grind down where there's gonna be a lot of points where you're like, shit, like I'm not loving this. Because it's just that slower, slightly volatile move lower. I don't know though. I mean, we're defending this area well. I'm definitely not like, holy crap, I want a long here. We're just struggling a little bit. What I would have wanted to see is this 5-minute close weaker and us slam this low. Like test below this low and slam down just to 82. Would have been dream world on that 5-minute candle. Now they're getting buying pressure back up. It's like, all right, bears aren't strong enough to really push that back lower, which is interesting. Especially with the 2-minute getting that fail to go lower, which is the lower part of that doji. And then, just so I have it in mind, where's that last hourly low? 592 is the prior hourly low. Took the entry at that quick pop up that old you would have longed. Hell yeah. That was right here, wasn't it? Or was that here? No, that was here, I think. I don't know which one. It might have been that one or this one. I don't know. One of them. No, Steph, you didn't miss anything from me. I've just been waiting today. A whole lot of nothing. We will be doing a 50K My Fun and Futures giveaway towards the end of stream. First one I pointed out? Nice. Beautiful. Hope it works out, brother. Back in the day, far before cars and light bulbs, I used to short or long the market right at the higher low, hoping to catch like 3 points and rinse accounts. Damn, Adrian, you were doing technical analysis before they made light bulbs? God damn, brother. Were you trading via carrier pigeon? That's impressive. But no, that's exactly what I would do too. Is even back in the day when I would, let's say, take this candle and I would long it, I'd be like, oh my God, I caught the low, and I'd sell it right here or like right here. And then it would rip. ES would go 60 points. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. And then the ones I don't sell would just be the worst entry in the world and liquidate the account. Taylor, the indicators, I would more so say ignore. Because I couldn't tell you, I don't even think since we started streaming, I was like, oh my God, we're testing this EMA because I don't use them like that. They're mainly just colorful lines on my chart. For the most, like being fully transparent. They're basically just pretty lines that are moving with the chart. The zones for me, if you think about the levels, it's kind of similar, but I'm just using 15-minute pivots with the extended hours because that's the session I'm trading. I can't really, where I found it was, my thesis was I like using futures. So I want to use the whole futures market. I'm not going to dive too much into it so I don't give away too much sauce, but I like to use the entire futures market is the easiest way to put that for me. And then I marked prior day, high, low, last week, high, low, and I focus on those a lot as well. Oh, I can't see deleted messages. My Streamlabs isn't working on my OBS. GC wakes up as I say something, and then someone else said GC is giving them an aneurysm. Yeah, gold's doing something. She trying. Oil's not doing anything, which is interesting. I guess at this point, just wait to see how 82 reacts. Nice potential short there if y'all took it. Talked about it, just hesitated. Was waiting for a different kind of setup. I'm short ES. What up, Zay? What's the target? For me, I was looking more so 82. Doesn't have to be like the final target, but it's not New York low, it's the consolidation from New York. So just all around this area between like 81.5 and like 82.5 is where I personally would have been targeting for like a trim. It could easily break that and go towards New York lows. If it does, then GG's. Adrian, well, it depends. As a trend following trader, EMAs tell me a lot. They do. They'll definitely tell you a lot. It's just, for me, like if you're looking at the crosses, agreed. I just don't pay attention to those a lot, to be honest. I just use the multi-time frame analysis to kind of tell me, but I'm sure a lot of people are like that. What was I about to say? If a beginner trader wants to be profitable, he should just do the opposite of what he thinks. Yes and no. In the very beginning, before he knows nothing, he should do exactly what he thinks. Once he starts to learn something, then he should do the opposite of what he thinks. Because in that early part, you have the quote-unquote beginner's luck because you don't know enough to be arrogant with your trading. But the second you start to get educated in trading is when you really get those self-inflicted wounds and you go downhill fast. Like, that's what happened to me. The first 2 weeks, I was on top of the world with options trading. Made $2,000, 2 weeks. I was like, holy shit, I'm here. And then I lost everything right after because I started to really learn what I was doing and understand it. Yeah, it's like the ignorance of early trading and just not knowing anything makes you the greatest trader in the world. But the second you start to learn, holy hell, do we suck. Yeah, Polar Brother, that 3-bar play on ES was really nice. That's why I'm glad a lot of you seem to be catching it. So, something I find funny is People in the chat. That's why I love doing these polls, because I will watch this poll. Y'all saw it. It was 50-50 while we were right here. Now that we have the breakdown playing out, bearish is winning. So it's like after the move happens, people go back and go, oh, you know what? I'm bearish on the market. And you fix it. And more votes, a lot more votes than likes. Almost double the votes than likes, which is fucking insane. Especially if y'all want a 50K giveaway. So I'm gonna be honest, we struggling right now. We had 94. We need 150 or else I'm just not running it. Not running it. I'll run it tomorrow. Oh, Jordan, if we got more likes, I would start pulling the Allen method to where we potentially give away 2 accounts on stream. Do you see shorting opportunities in gold? I see a lot of, I don't want to fucking touch this chart on gold. Because we've been ripping in this range for a while. We finally broke. So if someone long the lower end of the range, congrats. But also gold's not something I love. And the way gold's been trading during these sessions just doesn't really interest me for the most part, you know, but we'll see. Yeah. Good to know, Polar Bear. Next time you hop in there, if I'm in, I'll tell you good morning. I gotta phone some friends to stream for a like. I've been reliking like it's gonna do something. Good luck. But no, one thing I will say is I feel like a big reason a lot of people might not like the stream right away is my time slot. Let's say East Coast. A lot of people are probably around like dinner, family time, stuff like that. They have it on in the background. When you look at the West Coast, it's right around like getting off of work. So a lot of people are probably driving, finishing up work, doing things like that. So I don't anticipate a lot of people be overly hands-on. And we get I guarantee you we have a lot of lurkers in chat. I guarantee you we have a lot. Polar Bear, don't you dare. Don't you dare bot the stream. You bot the stream, you are permabanned from everything we've ever seen in existence. I'll message other traders to ban you as well from wherever they have. You'll be rocked from the industry. We'll call up Tradeify. They'll ban you. Lucid, we'll get them to ban you. Everybody. What up, CXD? Yeah, that's why I know my stream. There's gonna be a lot of lurkers just to the time slots. And then obviously as you get across the world too, like Aussie is just waking up for the most part. Good thing I only trade with bottom step. Yeah, I don't think I have pull there. Bro, you know how irritated I would have been if this is the low. Wait, let's look at the charts. 15 doji. I would still want to be a little patient. We might not even have to get up to 96, but I'm not slamming here. 100% not. We do still have 30 minutes though. That 30 minute looks fucking ugly. Never mind. But the hourly can be a big factor. If we do get a push up in the hourly, get back above like 92, I'd be interested in like the 9 o'clock slot for this potential. But I would have been, dude, if I shorted, I probably would have held until 82.5 at least. That, if this reverses, that would have sent me off a cliff. Dude, yesterday, that would have sent me off a cliff. Jordan, you going back to the dark side? Well, see, Jordan, I mean, wait, how did MES wick you out at 7,600? You get him back here? If so, I'm going to be honest. I feel like it's kind of, it might be a user operator error for throwing a stop directly at a psychological level. right? Like, I feel like that's just got to be skill issue at that point. You got to put it like a point or two past the level. You can't run it exactly at the psychological level. What up, Hassan? With my wide stop, I was up like 603 times. Polar Bear, those are the ones you look back on and you're like, son of a bitch. Because there's so many opportunities you could have taken profit and you just get stopped. It was at 7603 this morning. Well, then you're just out of luck. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there. This morning, 7603. You got it. There ain't no way. Is it this candle? Did you get hit exactly at 7603 and then it pulled back almost 20 points? If so, RIP, brother. RIP. I'm sorry for laughing, but I just know the pain of it. The only thing you can do is laugh through it. Have you tried Vanquish? No, I will not use or promote an options prop firm. I don't agree with it. I don't. It just doesn't make sense to me. I really can't paint a scenario in my head where an options prop firm makes sense. Real estate, I heard laughed a bit. Dude, that's all you can do. Especially because at that point, like right now, it's in the past. I could either dwell over it, look at something like yesterday. Yesterday, probably subpar trading. I could dwell on that, let that impact me today. All I'm going to do is tilt and lose money. Or laugh at it, be like, yeah, I was an idiot. I mean, I wouldn't say I was an idiot yesterday, but most of the time when I look back and laugh at it. And I'll just be like, yep, I was an idiot. But there's nothing you can do about it. It's in the past. You can either learn from it or you can sit there and dwell on it and it just sucks. I don't know if I'd say there's something you can really learn from this if you got wicked out by one tick. Because that's just unfortunate. Like that one book, it's just a series of unfortunate events. And sometimes the market just loves to give you a reality check. Good to know, Mike. I haven't been on Lucid Stream. The only time I really go on prop firm streams is when Jake is on, or if someone else like really interesting that I want to listen to is on. Alan, I highly doubt you could just sell options on an options prop firm. But for me, like I would, if anyone has a logical reason that they have in their head of why you should trade an options prop firm, let me know. Because I can't come up with a single one. I can't think of a single scenario where I'm like, this makes perfect sense to use this. And I'm actually kind of firm on that with stuff that I promote or talk about, is I have to truly believe in it. Because I've been reached out to by, I think, 2 trading related companies for tools. And I like looked at the one, I didn't love it. The other one, we didn't just come to a deal, but the one I looked at, I just didn't love it. So we never ended up getting anything out of it. You don't get how you make money on what ran the options prop firm? Andrew, that's the whole thing. With option, the reason I'm okay with futures versus options, and I know we talked about this either, I think it was Thursday maybe. The reason I'm okay with futures over options is options, the main reason a lot of people love to trade those is the uncapped premium that you can capture on the move, right? You're trading the Greeks to catch that like gamma delta squeeze. But if you have a consistency rule, it kind of mitigates the entire thing in general. Options still scare me. That's fair. Options are fun, though. They're a wild ride at times, but they're fun. Honestly, I walked away from trading after that. Beautiful, Jordan. Beautiful. Happy you didn't blow up, brother. You sports bet? I used to heavily. And last year, I actually caught myself because I was sports betting. I started out with like $20 to like $30 bets. And I would do 1-2 leggers. I wouldn't do like 10 leg parlays. And if I did, I would do like a 4 or 5 leg parlay for like $5. And then I realized I started to, by the end of the season, get into like $20 4 or 5 leg parlays. And I started to get a little bit degenerate in my trading. And I immediately cut off sports betting. Immediately. Because I'm like, me being a little fiend, sports betting, being a degen, is not worth me tilting on like an actual trading day just because I was a fiend over the sports stuff. What I like to do is just put a little bit on it, on a game, just that way it just makes it fun, more fun to watch. Yeah, no, I do sports bet. In this season, I do plan to make like sports bet and possibly make like little $5 parlays with y'all. I think it'd be fun. Damn, Mike. Yeah, let's pay attention to Lucid more. Yeah, options have a lot of different ways to trade, right? With spreads or just naked calls in general. There's a lot of different variables that you can use to trade. Did I see Odell to the Giants? Did you see? That's the trade you're talking about? You're not talking about Myles fucking Garrett to the Rams? We're talking about Odell to the Giants? I feel like there's a lot bigger trade to worry about here. The heart of our team is gone. We cut Njoku, and then we traded Myles Garrett. Dude, we are in shambles. I mean, to be fair, Polar Bear, at first, I was like, what the hell is this trade? But once I really started looking at it, because when I first looked at it, it was the trade plus the first round plus and to be determined draft pick. Once it finally came out, I'm cool with it. I'm perfectly fine with that trade. I think in the end, it's a better trade for us wholeheartedly. Oh, dude, Rams to win the Super Bowl are plus 550 now. The next best team is plus 1,000. You have Puka Nacua on offense, and then you go to defense, you have Myles Garrett on the end. Brother. Brother. What we do in our live shows out of our trading. Agreed on Orthodox. Fully agreed. I mean, there's definitely ways, like you can definitely gamble and then trade outside of it. You just got to be smart with it. It's all about discipline. You bearish on oil. I mean, It's hard to just short this kind of daily. Oil can easily reverse it. Thing for me is we have a 4-hour double inside bar. At this point, it's where is this going to break? Right? We're sitting in a wider hourly range for now. I'm not overly bearish on this just because it's a range. Same thing with gold. Gold's sitting in a wider range. I am more so bearish on gold just because gold, every time it gets bought, it gets sold. Where oil is kind of the opposite. I don't lean heavily bearish on this. I don't. Longer term, I lean more to the upside on oil personally. Andrew, that's the thing about sports betting is I will spend an hour just looking through player stats and their matchups to make a sports bet. And that's something I love about it because I will tism and dive deep into every aspect of it. Polar Bear, yeah, you didn't see that. What we saw though is, with that trade, I forget who the name of the dude we traded for already. Hang on, give me a second. Uno momento. Jared Verse. So we traded Myles Garrett for Jared Verse. and we get a first round pick next year, second round pick in 2027, and a third round pick in 2028. I think we did well on that trade. Flawless. Because one, we're capitalizing on the fact that Myles Garrett just hit the sack record, and he's valuable as hell. I think they gave us too much for that trade, but I'll take it. It's no, I think it's fire. He's good because, I mean, we just traded basically the defensive player of the year for a two-time Pro Bowler and defensive rookie of the year. I'll take that. Plus, think of our team. Our entire roster is young. So we can have Myles Garrett, who's going on his, 10th season? Or we can take someone who is basically the younger Myles Garrett on his second season on a rookie contract. So we went from paying someone $168 million to paying someone their rookie deal. Sold. Deal and a half. Plus, I think the Rams are chasing a Super Bowl. It makes the most sense for the Rams. They're taking someone who's likely going to retire in probably the next 4 years. So they're taking a shorter term player in which they could just go for the gold, let it ride, especially when you look at their quarterback situation. Their team's at the point where they need to win now. It's basically like Detroit, 2 years ago? They need to win or it's likely not going to happen. Yeah, the Rams definitely bought themselves a Super Bowl, 100%. Yeah, Doug, but that's the thing. If the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, washed. Complete frauds. Flukes all around. They have no reason not to win every game this season. Excuse me, ES? Okay, that's just a glitch on ES. Okay, that is just a trading view bug. That did not actually happen. Noted. Good. I would love to. Wait, someone said, I want to see Travis Hunter does this season for the Jags. He tore his ACL. I want to see how Judkins is doing because he snapped his leg in half basically. Saw he's in camp, which is good, but because we need Judkins bad. I mean, we have Samson, but I'd love to see Cleveland do well. I like Shedeur. The problem is Shedeur basically has this season to figure out his quarterback issues, or he's likely not going to start in the NFL. I think he has this year to figure it out, or he will not start in the NFL. Adrian, is that just on TradingView for you? Because it didn't happen on Trade of 8 for me. I'm obviously not in a trade, but I'm looking at Trade of 8, and that spike didn't happen. So that's just a TradingView bug. Yeah, Polar Bear. I mean, definitely am, but he's good. He's a great college player is the hard part. And a lot of people that are Shedeur fans aren't going to want to hear that. He is a phenomenal college player. I will give him that. No, not at all, dude. I watched him. I was at the game when he started live and he threw 2 picks in the first 2 drives. I'm not confident in his abilities in the slightest. We don't have a single quarterback that I'm confident in their abilities, though. And we have 4 of them again. Last year we started with 4. We traded away the best one early in the season, and then we shit the bed the entire season. We don't have a single quarterback that I'm like, hell yeah, that's our starter. So you'd rather have Dylan? No. I'd rather have none of them. I would have rather started Joe Flacco the entire season last year. The entire season. Polar Bear, I do have one fear though. And obviously we're probably going to lose people, one, because we're not actively in trades and we're just yapping about football. But it's just one of those streams where it is a slower stream. We are yapping. My fear, this is my fear. And we are set up beautifully for it, right? We just got another first round pick next year. And if we do terrible again this year, which we're probably going to do because we're in the biggest rebuild phase you could ever imagine with how young our team is. If we don't have a quarterback figured out this year, there's one quarterback that people are probably going to take next year, and that's fucking Arch Manning. And I don't know if he's got that dog in him either. And then I think we're just in an endless roller coaster of continuously drafting quarterbacks and getting rid of them for 30 years straight. And I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can mentally handle that. If we waste another first round on a quarterback that sucks, I can't handle it. I think, yeah, Jason, I think last year really set that up for Arch. He looked phenomenal at the end of 2024. And yeah. Do you think quarterback is the toughest to draft? I would definitely say hardest to predict for the most part. But I think Cleveland is phenomenal at drafting every other position in the past 2 years. Except quarterback. Quarterback, we fucking suck. We can't draft anybody. We make the worst trades in the world for quarterbacks. If you look at all the trades of the last 3 years, every trade and draft pick is insanely good unless you put it with the quarterback position. Everything we've touched with the quarterback, terrible. Everything else we've done in the last 3-4 years, phenomenal. Yeah, Jason, that's the hardest part, is you have no clue how they're going to step up on the big stage. Because you're taking people who, in college, people can look phenomenal in college, like Shadur. He looked great in college. But then if you look at his conference, he's not playing the top dogs of the top dogs. And then you put him against the elite of the elite of the elite players in the world. Yeah, he's going to get smoked. $100%. And if you think about it, here's a great example. And we're going back to trading a little bit. That's like taking someone who is great at trading 2 micros on ES or NQ. Let's use NQ. Trading 2 micros on NQ. And then all of a sudden, one day they get called up and they have to trade 2 minis on NQ every day from then on out. It ain't going to be fucking easy. Or you can set them behind someone that knows how to trade it. They can watch them for a year or two, learn how to do it better, and then start doing it. Bro, you don't want Deshaun to start? No, I don't. I don't at all. Unless there's one chance. If Deshaun comes back as Texans Deshaun, sure, let him play. Let him start. If he comes back as the Deshaun Watson that we gave $250 million to, no. I want him to get suspended again for the rest of his contract. Come like the Jets with me. No. Rain, there's only one way I can hate myself more, and that's liking the Jets. So we're getting that continuation. Oil hourly looks good. We have 7 minutes to go. We do. Football Talk has dropped the chat 20 people. That's on me. That's my bad. The problem is we still need 30 likes for a giveaway. We're getting up there, and I haven't had to talk about it much. So we're getting up there. If you get 30 more, we'll do it. But if not, might be G's. Might be GG's. Do you think Trevor Lawrence is ass? No. No, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is ass at all. I think Trevor Lawrence is a solid quarterback. I wouldn't say he's elite. I would say he's solid. It's so fun liking bad teams. Rain, it is, because people don't understand this, like the Browns last year. Most people wouldn't understand the hype of when we finally scored 2 touchdowns and got over 20 points in one game. We were screaming like we just won the Super Bowl. Whereas most people, that's just a normal day for them. It is what it is. We like to celebrate the little things. I'm a Panthers brand, brother. I feel your pain. Panthers aren't terrible. What up, Lamelli? Good, brother. Just been sitting for a minute, watching the charts. Basically talking football for the last 30 minutes. Cooking some ground beef. Nice. Yeah, I threw chicken in the air fryer earlier. James, no, because it has the Rams on it. And I actually don't have a Browns jersey. I've never bought a jersey. The only jersey I have is an Ohio State jersey. And it was a knockoff $40 Chinese jersey. Appreciate you, Lamelli. Yeah, we just been yapping for the most part the entire stream. That's why trading's just been a little slow. Hesitated here, but I just didn't love the overall trade for the most part. Just because I thought it would be a slow, methodical grind down, and it was, but it ended up making its way to target. So now I'm basically just waiting, seeing if anything pops off around this 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. open and going from there. So far, though, markets look pretty bearish. Are you from Cleveland? Yeah. I live up by Cleveland. Alex, what blue are you talking about? If you're talking about that dog shit team up north, I swear to God. I swear. Hell yeah, Boyer. Now, Alex, one question. Are you one of the delusional Michigan fans or are you a logical Michigan fan? That's all I need to know. No, there's no beef at all. I'll joke around and have sports beef with people, but dude, I think it is the pettiest thing in the world to dislike someone because of a sports team they like. I think it is the dumbest thing in the world. Like to get in a fight, like people get in fights all the time because of teams they're wearing. I think it is the most childish aspect out there. Look, let's come back. Boyer, move back. Ain't no way you're living in Ohio saying that. You move back. You go back there. I was born in Michigan, and I hate Michigan. Just saying. Went to Michigan. I'm depressed. Valid. Or went to Wisconsin. I don't know why I read Michigan. Yeah, Alex, you'd get along. I don't think he's in chat anymore, but Gael, you'd get along with him well. He's one of the delusional Michigan fans. The lower we go, the more people vote bearish on the poll. Yeah, in 21 more likes, I will do a 50K My Fun of Futures giveaway. And it's good because, to be honest, your guys' odds went up exponentially after me talking about football for about 30 minutes. Because chat numbers went down quite a bit. So we'll see if they kick back up if I quit talking about it. Well, who cares? Don't even get me started on the votes to likes again. How many votes are there? 200 votes. I mean, we're getting up in likes a little bit. It's not as skewed as it was. Jordan, just imagine how you'd feel if you could look at the view numbers of the stream and see that there's been over 1,500 people that have been in here. Bro, if oil... So here's something I will be watching later on. Let me extend this a little bit. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy. If oil gets a stronger hourly close here, I mean, the indices 3-bar played flawlessly. So if anyone traded that 3-bar play, congratulations. I'm probably going to look back on this and be like, yeah, that was dumb to not do it, but is what it is. Especially when this 15-minute kind of set up there for the most part. Is what it is. Live with it. But if oil can get that stronger hourly close and eventually get above like 92.65s, I don't hate it. I really don't. Especially us back above this like 91.5 to 92 area. That would be like a tonight type of trade eventually. Yeah, I'd be throwing haymakers. I've been short since 5 in the market open. Hell yeah, Hattie. AXP. Oh, I was about to say AXP's been short too. Wait, AXP, did someone actually say that to you? If so, what a fucking legend. Oh, that's a polar bear thing to say. The polar bear's still here. Y'all can beef. Yeah, Zay, we're right at that 82 area where my target was. If we hold here, though, the thing is, I will say, if we hold here, I'll be happy. Mainly just because we've been watching these 3 pivots since the beginning of the stream. And it's clear as day why exactly I was watching those. And it would be a great hold, just in general. I'd be okay with it. You had a deal that you go short, he goes long. Brother, he was your liquidity. Congratulations. 5 Central Time, 6 micros. Hattie, NQ or ES? Holding runners on that short. Jordan, you are him. That's who you are. Stop break even. Beautiful. Nice. So you're up. Let's say you got in 609. About 30 points. No, 40 points, right? 30, yeah. Bad math second time. Good math first time, bad math second time. Zay, you need to make 5K? Oh, so you're in... If you're in ES, you got to be in heavy if you're trying to get 5K. Let me reply to my mother real quick. Oh, you want 50 points or bust. Got it. Got it. Holding the last runners to 75, 73-ish. That New York low? Just under New York low. Okay. Because New York low is 76.25. Beautiful, Hattie. Beautiful. Been in MES shorts for 40 minutes. It's like watching paint dry. Welcome to the Asia session. I mean, we did talk about it being a slow, methodical move lower from this retest down to here. Unfortunately, I wanted this to happen like right here for my entry, which should have been open to 2 variables. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely slow and methodical. We're just not getting the over volatility, like the overly volatile aspect at the moment. But yeah, I'm really focused on how we react here now. Is going to be a more bearish hourly close, which happened. Did we spike that low already? Technically, we did by 1 tick. I'd be shocked if that held. If that was like, oh my God, that's what pivots. NQ did spike by a little bit more, so that is enough to kind of hold us with that little divergence there. Oil's testing this resistance, so we need to focus here. We need to focus 82. To be honest, if you're bearish, you'd likely want a broader consolidation here, or we just straight rip through 82. If we rip through 82, you're chilling. You are big chilling. What about gold? What'd gold do? I'm not laughing at you, Rye. I'm laughing at the fact that everybody always says, why don't you trade gold? Look at gold. Why don't you trade gold? Dude, I would rather sit on my hands for 3 hours, like physically sit on top of my hands for 3 hours than trade this. That would just be, I think I would rather full port SPX 0 DTEs with no stop, counter trend, than trade this. Is there potential there? Yes, but this is just brutal. Yeah, Zay. I mean, we're holding this lower support. We'll see, though. My biggest thing now is that NQ did spike lower, so that could be enough that we end up holding. But I'm not going to blindly long it. What I would kind of want to see at this point, if I looked to take a trade, give me something where we go, I don't know if I want to go up to here or maybe here, retest this, and then go up. I think that would be dream world scenario. Especially coming into like the 4 hour. Because that 4 hour is ugly as shit. Nah, I don't even think I would want to long that 4 hour at all. I don't think I'd be interested in longs. I truly don't. Even if it held. Because that 4 hour should close on this candle, right? Yeah. So for this 4 hour to look relatively decent, we would need us up at 606. So in this hourly candle, this would have to go up to here. Which is possible for sure. I mean, it's not out of the question, but we would need an aggressive bit. Fuck, oil's reversing. Because we have the hourly fail to go lowers. Oil's reversing pretty aggressively off the open and off that resistance. I don't think it's something I want to be aggressive on, but I'd definitely be interested in taking something. Probably gonna be a little more patient though. Wait for at least a 2 minute. Yes, 7K end of night. Get the fuck out of here. You want 580 points on ES by the end of the night. Could you imagine? What if 15 point in 3 minutes isn't super fun to you? I mean, it's eventful for sure. Fun and eventful are two very, very selective words in that scenario there. Dude, I'm being a little patient because the inner degen in me is just like screaming long it right here off this support. It is. I'm gonna be honest. Just like I'm fighting a little demon in my head. It's like, you know, just long it off the support, throw a stop, like 6 points and let it ride. Distractions over the giveaway. I can't. Because y'all won't like the motherfucking stream. We need 7 more. I could run the giveaway and it would hit that by the end of the stream. But I've been too generous. We got to at least hit it. Jordan. I like it. Immediate long. Jordan, I hope you print. I'll be like, damn, that'd be twice today that I just looked at it. But this one's a lot lower conviction than the other one. Tunk, what do you mean? There's just a wick now on the hourly chart. To the downside? CJ Jordan just commented 7K end of night and then immediately longs. So I don't know. I don't even know if Jordan knows what Jordan wants to do. TradeAway Mobile is trash. Wait, Jordan, you already trimmed? Where the fuck did you get in that we moved to 1.5? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what is going on? Let's see. Upper wick forming to keep it going lower. I definitely wouldn't say, like, for me, this candle isn't necessarily upper wick. It's just looking like this. We're consolidating. I was looking more so at the bigger oil rejection, looking for the negative correlation to continue if oil gets that weakness, which can happen. But like I said, I would want, I don't even know if it's still drawn on there. For me to long, I think I would either want a consolidation around 88 to 90 for the move up into this and then towards the open, or a retest of 95 that we come back down, retest 89 from above, and then go. I think the risk reward is flawless down here. It would be absurd, but the conviction on the trade is pretty damn low. I can easily see it holding, though. The main reason would just be the NQ wicking lower. But I'm not, this isn't a chart that I'm like, hell yeah, I'm longing. I said the little demon in my head wants me to yeet it. Yeah, Barar, that's why I have this marked. Not even 75. Oh, you're talking about NQ. For ES, it's this consolidation low from New York session. And also Friday. So this is a massive, I mean, holy shit. This was a resistance Thursday. A pivot all night into Friday. Resistance New York Friday. Or support New York Friday. Support Monday, New York. And now we're retesting it again. Damn. I mean, if anything's going to hold, it's going to be this. Elder, you're waiting for a retest of the open to short? I don't know if I'm in love with that, mainly just because at that point we're fully breaking structure. Like, we are full pivoting. There's a chance this is the low. But I'm going to follow the plan. We going to be patient. ES was low day today. Low day today on ES was 76. So a little off, but close. Similar area, yeah. I want to long here until that area. And if we short. Patient here too. Yeah. I've been just overly patient in general today. You're the second person that wants a flush into 30K. You and Jordan both. Jordan wants 29,990. Short, long, short. That's how you do it. Y'all just want absolute... You guys want fresh all-time highs into a 3% pullback, which can happen. My God, do you guys want blood? I'm dropping another poll to see what you guys are feeling. So I feel like it's going to be heavily bearish because you guys usually vote off of the move that already happened. Jordan, that's why I did a new one, brother. That's exactly why I did a new one. Every time I think we're going to make a pivot, I make a new poll. I would be shocked. I mean, it doesn't help that I already talked about the chart and us potentially holding this area before I did the poll. I should have done the poll first and then talked about it, so we got a better thesis out of it. Because I feel like a lot of people would have been bearish or put bearish. You're looking to long in 2 hours, D-Hype? Or are you a different time zone? I'm Eastern. Adrian easily could. For me, it's going to be focusing on, like Eldred said, the 4 hour for the most part. But I would, for me to long, it would be dream world to be something like this, where we hit this, retest this, and then look to go. This would have just been like a high risk to reward aspect trade, which, I mean, if it goes, I'd be like, damn. My problem is, one of the reasons I'm being decently patient is I need $150 on Lucid. And then I get $2,000 payout. So I'm not trying to be an idiot. I'm really not. All right, Jordan, what we're going to watch, though, just watch how this 15-minute reacts. And I'm talking to you specifically because of what you said in chat. If we go back down and break this low, look, it started going red and the poll went from like 70% down to 57. So if this candle gets more red, I guarantee you the poll gets more bearish as it goes. What up, Dev? Oh, Adrian, I will risk $100 on trades for this 150. That's it. Even if I risk, like, let's say I lose the first one, I might risk 150 on a second one. If I lose 250, I'm probably going cash. Especially because I have enough profit to where it really doesn't matter. Now it's just whenever I hit a $150 day. It's hard being bearish, though, is what you said. I mean, in reality, Jordan, all I said is there's a support there. Because you got to remember what the 4 hour looks like. Also, I'll remove this because we did hit 150. Proud of you guys. You did it. Look at you guys. So we will do the giveaway. But you got to remember what this 4 hour looks like. Yes, we are at an astronomical support on ES. But we can also go down to like 73 for that support on ES, you know? While you still have YM looks like shit, RTY looks like shit, NQ also looks like shit. So, hourly, more so, you could look at the failure to go lower. What I said, though, was essentially, at that point, what could happen, not what should happen. If it happens, cool, you know, it is what it is. That's why I'd be waiting for up here. Because so far, we can consolidate just like this, make a little bear flag, and on the next hourly open, we dump. Diapers all over the place. What? Brar, I do 5 day. It's a Lucid Flex. So on that account, I have 5,900 basically in profits, and I have 4 days logged. I just need one more day. Five contracts to move 6 ticks on NQ. No stop. Let's go. Brother. That is, by the time I get filled, I'll be liquidated. I would be liquidated immediately. It would just be straight open liquidation, and I would lose the entire $5,000. Am I right here at Redneck Trading TV? What? Right guy. I just read your comment. Seems like a bear trend to me, however, that big green candle. Look at this 5 minute and then essentially look at the daily trend. Saying big 5 minute candle, like the green 5 minute candle, would be like saying, oh my God, this is a massive bearish candle on the daily chart. We're hitting a top, it's going to go lower, you know? And that's how I look at it. Just one candle in a trend. That's why we wait and see what the other candles do. Because they got to tell a story. I like why I'm Mr. Wardoff 886. I don't. My biggest issue is one of the timeframes I trade. This 4 hour would need to rip 150 points in the next 40 minutes, which is easily possible on the YM. Like I will say, if some random tweet pops off and we get failed to go lowers on the 4 hours, it just happens to fit the time frame perfect to where, oh my God, this is like the perfect situation to flip long. But if we don't and we stay in this lower area, then it's weak for me. I just think we would need a pretty aggressive move. And I say it's aggressive because it's based off of what we've been getting, right? It just took us, what, from here, basically here, from 6:30 to 9:30. So 3 hours to move 15 points. And we have 40 minutes to get all the way back up to 606 on ES. Hattie, why do you keep putting the loading thing in there? What do the words mean? Yeah, right. I always just zoom out. Can we hold here? Yeah. Can we go lower here? 100%. Well, I'm just waiting to see what the charts want to do. I think risk to reward down here where we talked about it would definitely be towards the upside. That's because we just sold off 30 points from the open. And we were at a support. Yeah, Jason, and don't let me impact your thesis, right? If you're looking at the hourly, just know I'm glued to the 4 hour. Especially while we're sitting in this shit. Like if you look at ES on the broader time frames, if we want to continue this consolidation, this is the picture perfect spot for it to hold. Hold here, rip back up to 600s. Now we're just in this 4 hour range. We go back to like the highs of this area a little bit on the bodies of them. Makes sense. Go up to retest this little breakdown here. Can easily happen. We're at a point where I can see a logical thesis for either direction. First ever trade today, made $80. When do I start selling a course? First, it depends. What concepts do you trade? If you learn ICT concepts, you're supposed to start selling right when you learn them. You learn the concepts, then you sell the course, then you start trading. That's how that works. Any other way, you make money, then you sell the course. $80 ago. I did it backwards. Fuck. Yeah, see, that's where the mistake is. That's how you fund the accounts in the beginning, is you sell the course. Jason, I feel like that one's straight targeting. I feel like that's a personal foul right there. I really hate that you said that, and I know exactly who you're referring to. That's what I hate about it. What up, Logan? All-time highs. Full $4 accounts. Technically, you know, Ali, we are looking... If we get that hourly turtle soup going, you know? Adrian. Lost 1,200 yesterday. Does have a good Asia? I'm cash so far this Asia. We talked about this short. I didn't take it. A lot of chat did. Congratulations to them. And we'll see where we go from here. Jason, did you get got? If so, GG's. I did not. Good. Kyle, I mean, logically, I think that's our issue with Project 365. Except for yesterday. Ignore yesterday for me. But besides that, like, we're trading too decent. We're doing too well. We need to trade worse so more people blow their accounts and then use, obviously, the codes for the prop firms. We're doing the whole thing wrong. We're actually having people make money and get payouts. So we got the whole system backwards. Oh, Jason, that's the fastest money-making method in the stock market. It's the fastest method in the stock market. All right, Tonk, I'm going to read this, and then we're going to do the giveaway. I mean, for me, it's more so between like 81 to 76, just because that's going to be that. But if you're talking about the higher time frames, I feel like you don't care about a little 7-point range. This is the problem. We're getting into this kind of area. We get into last week's kind of shit. Where did I mark for my weekly? 77 is a huge support. Under 77, I mean, you're going to have support down towards like 60s. That whole area, you're going to have some support in. That's going to be a battle in this 4-hour range. The next large support for me is like 520s, which is just literally this pivot here on the 4-hour. Just this like 520, 530 area. That's not where I'd be looking to hold to unless you're looking for like capitulation type aspect, which could happen. I dare you help people research. I know, Kyle. And the crazy part is, another thing we're doing backwards. Instead of having people like blow their accounts following trades, we're giving them free accounts. Fucking terrible model we got going here. It's even worse is people have gotten payouts from the giveaway accounts. Wait, Jason, is that true? Y'all are funny to degenerate? No, Adrian, only some people. Only some of the winner are degens. I know that for a fact. Some of y'all are fucking straight degens. Others of y'all are very disciplined. And then some of you guys are like me, where you'll be very disciplined, and then sometimes you're like, you know what is degen mode? Nora makes a video about everything, bro. Also, I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the poll, because I'm just watching the poll now for the most part. Obviously, I'm going to do the giveaway. No one's asking about it, which is sick. Normally in Jake's stream, it'd be like, oh my God, giveaway. But we were 70% bullish right here on this candle close. The poll has gone all the way down to 51% after 3 red candles. You guys are definitely reactive versus predictive. I'll give you that one. Fuck, Logan. That's the battle I'm fighting right now. And it flipped more bearish. There we go. In my session, it is 100% DOR. I changed it to bearish. Damn it, Ali. Not a coincidence at all, Kyle. No, but New York session is the greatest time to be a DJ. In full transparency. The only time we did degen hours once was when, I think we did it twice when Trump tweeted. Because we just saw, it was like a 40-point ES candle. And we just went degen hours. But it's hard, because how do you go, like picture me doing that. Like imagine right now, we did whatever on stream. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling degen hours. What am I going to do? Short 20 ES minis and look for 3 points? Like, how do I degen this? It's just not possible. Silver trade, no. No, I would rather full port 20 ES than trade one silver mini. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. You and me both, Ali. You and me both. Degenerate for a reason. Jason, I'm pretty sure I said I would rather trade soybean futures than silver ones. NY session is the easiest to degen. Damn, Jason. No, Tunk, full sarcasm. Full sarcasm. I'm not being degenerate. I'm not going 2.5 hours of just being consistent and patient to all of a sudden degen right when there's the littlest bit of volatility. PBOC makes the lowest reverse repo fund injection in more than a decade. What's PBOC? I saw a thing, PBOC. I need someone to explain this in English. PBOC makes the lowest daily reverse repo fund injection in more than a decade. What does that mean? What up, Wop? How you doing? What was that? I don't know. When that happened, that's why I always look at my phone. Because that PBOC tweet came across. I don't know if something else came across. I don't know. PBOC, whatever PBOC is, made the smallest reverse repo in over a decade. I need that translated to English. Alan, read long if they wicked you out. Jason, that was. We'll do it again eventually. China Central Bank. Ah. Okay, what about the second half? See, this is why I asked chat. My chat, educated. Educated individuals. Couldn't close my shorts, dude. That's the worst. That is the worst. That's like yesterday when I did take that oil trade. I forget who it was. I'm not even trying to call someone out. We were in, and I think this wick happened on stream. No, that's not. Yeah, this wick happened on stream. It's either this one or this one. And someone was like, did you trim? I'm like, brother, that was a 2-second wick. How the hell am I going to trim that? Unless you have orders set. Now it's going to be interesting, though, because we did just spike more aggressively at the lows. 15-minute. A little fair to go lower. Across the board. If they're going to pivot it, they're going to try here. When you need dollars. Okay, appreciate you, Daniel. I always used to watch the repos, but I never knew exactly what they meant for the most part. Trade WAP. I traded personal accounts back to learn the mastermind. I learned the mastermind on options first, and then I brought it over to futures. Anyway, since I know some people were either in short, maybe got filled a little bit, or maybe they long, got wicked out right there. To make everyone feel better, let's run a giveaway. So what you're going to do, because I think we beat the likes. We did. We're almost at 160. Look at you guys go. Wait, instead of giving an account one day, we should pull bullish or bearish at open, full port, whichever direction. Jordan, I think this is a genius idea for Jake. And I could even do it. But it'd be more fun if Jake did it versus me. If you run a poll in the beginning of stream and make the chat pick a direction, you can only trade that one direction. If chat's right, you double the giveaways. If chat's wrong, there's no giveaways. They decide their own fate. Let you little DJs DJ. Y'all loved when Jake let you pick the trades. Look, we're not doing it now. Not this stream. The funniest part is I know Jake, he would still do giveaways. Anyways. Whoever did the last giveaway didn't close their fucking giveaway. Lamelli didn't close his giveaway. Every day I spell chat wrong. I don't know if there's been a day I've spelled chat correctly. To enter the giveaway, once the bot replies in the chat, you will type !enter to enter the giveaway. Ron, let chat pick trades and you take them. No, I don't want to. Stock Market J, based off of how the chat does the poll, I won't be doing that because chat picks whatever the last 3 candles were and makes that their decision on the poll. That doesn't sound like a good strategy for me. I could do it one day with an eval, and I'm probably sure at one point I will do it with an eval towards like the end of stream. But the way the polls go, it's not good. They react to what's already happened. And yes, that's you guys I'm talking about. Anyways, giveaway is open. !enter. Y'all did so good yesterday. Y'all did amazing yesterday. You did. Until the very end. And you fumbled. So we're going to see if you guys can keep it together today. !, the word enter, and then press enter. I'm going to go take a 30-second break. I'll be right back. Y'all guys can watch the chart, listen to the tunes. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. This guy homeless. Logan, I'll tell you what. I'll give her one, not you. Wilfredo needs to win. He does. No, Ryan. If it was, I'd be running out of the room. All right, I want to know how many, before I leave for 30 seconds, how many bot accounts do you guys have? The viewers just shot up by 20 people. All of a sudden, I run a giveaway, it shoots up 20 people. But direction into close. Stop every time, Ollie. Steve, yeah, if I did it, I would just do it towards like the end. Might get on my alt. Logan, people do that for sure. Adrian, I guarantee you people log on different accounts. I guarantee you. Every time I do a giveaway, I don't know if it's the YouTube algorithm or whatnot. Every time I do the giveaway, viewers will go up by 10 to 15 people. I don't think you do a bot. You just have multiple YouTube accounts. Like I have 2 YouTube accounts. Yeah. The thing is though, if you win, you still got to DM somebody and we're going to know because you got to DM us. Unless you make a second IG account, you got to DM us. Mine is the exact same name, so it'd be obvious. So is mine. Mine's similar. I am definitely, Jake is the Mr. Beast of prop firm giveaways. I am not. Laptop too slow to run one stream. That's why you got a cell phone, brother. Or change your IG handle. Adrian, the DMs don't go away. If you DM me on your IG, change the name, and then DM me again, the DMs are still there. I need y'all to be a little more on point today. Y'all are like the thoughts are there, but the logic's just a little bit faster than the thoughts, you know? Anyway, so I'll be back in 30 seconds. Did you guys figure out the giveaway yet? Fuck you, Holly. Bro's still alive. Of course, Polar Bear. Polar Bear, you can't. You better. There's a giveaway going on. If you haven't won, you got time. If I win, it's rigged. Got it, Logan. So if you win, I'll give it away. I truly don't understand. There's 20 seconds. 20 seconds. How many people got in? How many people didn't get in? This is a genuine question. How many of you guys didn't get in? Can I finally win today? Your odds are pretty decent today. Zay, did you not get in? Because there's currently barely more people in the poll than in the fucking giveaway. Shit, I'm delayed. Daniel. How many people didn't get in? I see a lot of you still typing. Did Tomb Raider type it before? Let's check. No, that was his first message. Did Ryan get in before? Let's check. Yes. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. I'll be generous. Since there were no trades today, I'll be generous. 30 seconds. You didn't get in, now's your shot. If you didn't get in, now's your shot. If you don't get in after an extra 30 seconds, you're cooked. Cooked. Got in, perfect. And don't worry, guys, it is not going to skew the results that much. It's not. Maybe 10 more people will get in. You'll be all right. Now, if one of them wins, I understand the beef. I do. You can hate me all you want. Close it straight. I also didn't look at the time when I said 30 seconds, so I have no clue when 30 seconds is, so I'm kind of just closing it whenever I close it. So congrats. What's interesting is oil is... the correlation's not correlating. It's not. Eat at. Huh? FTZ? I don't know what kind of giveaway you're trying to win, brother. But that's the wrong stream, my guy. That is the wrong stream. Anyways, close entries. Logan went up by 12 people. Not bad. Crash Raiders never win. There was one where the very last person that entered won. Eldred, have you won before? If not, hell yeah. If so, shit. Tunk, last week it was very heavy with oil for the negative correlation. Lately it's been very heavy, and that's one of the main aspects I've been trading. So last week was good. This week it's not correlating as much, I will say. Nope. Hell yeah, Eldred. All right. Either Discord or Instagram. You know what to do. 50K My Fund and Futures. If I see a new follow from Eldred, if you haven't been following me for some reason, I'm giving it away to someone else. It's getting gifted. I like to thank my sponsors, my cats and dogs. Hell yeah. I'm happy you won, brother. You've been on streams a lot. I mean, a lot. It shows dedication pays off. What are the rules to enter? Tunk, when I do the giveaway, it's just ! enter. It's the same on every chat, every stream. I just do one per stream for now. And because I'm not going to, they're not my accounts to just give away. I would love to give away 5, but Jake buys them, so I'm not just going to give away a bunch. Polar Bear. Polar Bear. Do me a favor. Oh, you bought them? Okay, I was going to say, go to type 15 and then enter on your trading view. I was going to say, zoom out a little bit. Is you just long right here? 55? I hope Wilfredo wins at some point. I hope he wins at some point. Jordan, he has to follow the poll. I seen the tweets about NVIDIA popping off. If that happens, GG's. Let's see. VD CEO, the company remains committed to Taiwan. It's focused on making its supply chain as resilient as possible. Blah, 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 blah. U.S. ecosystem. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, nothing crazy. Just message you on Insta? Hell yeah. Never won before. Beautiful, brother. He changed his name. He's had the same name the whole time. I'll only follow when I win. All right, Jordan. All right, I see you. You follow, and I'll immediately just block you. And you can't DM me. You'll be like, damn, he never shot me a DM. Got to give it away. All right, Aldin, I got you, brother. I'll get you the code after stream. Is Globex open, Sunday open? No. Got, whichever one. Globex is 6 p.m. Eastern every day. What's the Insta account name? Oh, you want me to leak his address next? By the way, this is why I believe some of y'all used alts for your giveaways. Before giveaway, 170 viewers. During giveaway, 197 viewers. After giveaway, 160 viewers. How many fucking alts you guys got? Yeah, they spike every time. I don't know if it's a YouTube algorithm or if it's just people running their alts. You should make people type and just choose. No, Polar Bear, because then it's basically whoever spams the most in the time slot that I pick. And I don't like that. I'd rather give everyone one entry. I mean, if someone goes through the process of logging into a bunch of accounts to jump on the stream, to enter, I mean, congratulations, you played the system, right? You can't fight that. There's nothing I can do. Probably, Joe. I mean, yeah, it's just dedicated to the grind. If you have multiple Instagrams, I mean, that's just pure dedication. If you need a giveaway that bad, I mean, not even that bad. That's just fair. Arya says CSCO. What are you trading Cisco? I think this is the company Jake likes. No, not. We looked for a copper name for how long before, and I just mistype a ticker, and we get a copper corporation. Well, if anyone needs copper, Southern Copper Corporation is SCCO. A message from my dog's IG account. I better see Jason. Deal. If you make videos of him trading it. You got to put like 2 treats or something, or 2 toys, and he's got to pick bullish or bearish. Only way to do it. CSCO is good. Really strong weekly. Really strong daily. Yeah, that chart looks good. Yeah, Tunk. And it depends on sizing, right? There's a fine line where, like, AXP is someone, I don't know if he's still on. I've told him, because he asked in the beginning when he got on streams, if it was something, sorry. Pete, what the fuck? He asked if it was something that he should be interested in, and based on the sizing he was trading and talking about, I told him no. So depending on the sizing you're using, it might not be viable. But if you have like logical risk, let's say you're risking a few $100s, it makes sense. You just got to pick with certain accounts that are better for you. And that's why I love the Lucid Flex accounts or the Tradeify Select 5 days. Prop accounts are basically hacking, pretty much. There's 2 ways for prop accounts. Prop accounts are phenomenal to learn how to trade if you're learning, because it's a lot less risk in general, and you can use bigger size than you would if you were trading personal account. And then there's the second way, which is the game of the prop space. and is the risk to reward of the amount you pay versus the amount you can withdraw. Not to do with the overall risk to reward of the trades and stuff like that. And that's how a lot of the bigger players trade it. There's a risk to reward of the overall expenses on the accounts versus the payouts. Yeah, Tunk, if you feel that, then I would just, if you do well on your personal account, I would just ignore props. 100%. I like them because of the leverage aspect for the most part. Now, mind you, most of the time too, like if I was trading a personal account, would I love to be up, let's say like $12,000 last month or something on, no, not even, probably more, on personal accounts and taking the payouts? Of course. But instead, I got to trade a consistency that I fucked up and get a payout. Anna, those are going to be two completely opposite questions that also depend on each other, if you think about it. The second part of your question depends on the first part of your question, right? So based on my risk, I don't have a set, like I'm only using 5-point stops on ES. I'm only using 40 on YM and 30 on NQ. It's based off the setup. So I'm going to find the setup, find my risk that I want to use, which to me is anywhere between 250 and 400. And then I decide my contract sizing. Pete's on one. See you, Eldred. I'll shoot you a DM once stream's over. Actually, here, Eldred, if you're hopping off, let me log on Insta real quick. Hopefully the reels don't start playing. If they do, sorry. Dude, every time I get on Instagram, I see fucking a Myles Garrett Instagram post. It's gonna make me cry. One second. Eldred, I'm gonna be honest. Wait, let me see if he put what type of account. Okay, got it. Is that the correct one? Yes. There you go, Eldred. That way, if you're getting off, you can go buy the account first. No, Tunk, I don't. I add to a position in profits, not in drawdown. I would much rather add as it's going with it, giving more conviction than buying lower. What up, Green Globe? How you doing? No, Jay, but I've done that when I took an entry and then it went against me and I lost like $500. That sucked. Logan, I hope you win the Super Bowl because you guys are paying for it. You know what I've noticed? LA's paying for all their championships. MLB, now NFL. You guys are just buying your way to trophies. But valid. Can't argue with it if you got the money. I mean, big W. You guys should easily, like, you guys are the biggest Super Bowl favorites because so many people bet on you guys today to win that you are half the cost of the next team to win. Jay, that's a hard conversation for me just because I'm not big on basketball. I'm be honest, I haven't even seen Harden dribble the ball with a Cleveland jersey on. I'm a shit Cleveland fan when it comes to the Cavs. Absolute dog shit. What up, Tay-Day? Logan, we got a lot of value. The biggest in the beginning, when I first saw that we were trading Myles Garrett for Verse and a first round plus an undecided pick, I was heavily irritated. But then I saw we got a first, second, and third. I'm okay with it, especially because how young he is. The thing is, so Logan, how I see that deal is you guys traded for the more experienced version of Verse, who's likely going to retire in 3-4 years, right? You guys are playing that timeline of getting the best while Myles Garrett's in his peak to help you win the Super Bowl. While we're looking to build, which is why we wanted basically the young Myles Garrett, which is what we got. To be honest, I think getting a first, second, and third, we stole that trade a little bit. No, he'll never be as good, but he has a lot of potential. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean by that. Tunk, the problem with that is you can get sued by the corporations. Like during NFL games, I would love to be able to stream a game with like a little box right above my head or something. You can't stream the games because the broadcast services have the rights. 100%, both teams. Yeah. Pete, we just got a lot of cap room. Between next year, I think we get like $100 million between Myles Garrett and Watson leaving, or Watson's contract ending. And we probably have the youngest team in the entire NFL, based off our draft the last 2 years. I've stopped training for the last 3 weeks because I developed this random fragrance addiction. I'm not like a huge fragrance guy today. I use the same cologne I've used for like the last probably 8 years. I got one, I throw it on if I go out. If not, I just chill. What up, Cole? How you doing? Logan. That's not terrible because Joey B wants to leave. He does. I mean, and we got a defense, even though we just gave away the heart of our defense. We still got a hell of a defense. The only part that I don't like about the trade, Logan, is something that most people aren't thinking. We just gave every single offense one extra defender, which sucks. The variety of topics in this chat is wild. I love it. Yeah, it is, Jordan. That's the greatest part about the night chat. Also, every time I talk about the NFL, viewers just start dipping. I love it. Just wait till it's actual season. Yeah, no, what I was going to tell my buddies before stream, but I didn't, is we just gave every single offense one extra defender by getting rid of Myles. So that's something to think about, but we'll see. See you, Jordan. Is anyone still holding their shorts? Because, I mean, we are trending well. I'm also glad I didn't degen. This is why we wait for conviction before we degen anything. Raiders are a sleeper team this year. Logan, I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw Brock Bowers got a hair transplant. Could be one of those epiphanies where all of a sudden he pops off. Myles Garrett is amazingly happy he's out. Because if you think about it, he wanted out last year instead of getting his bag. He got his bag and then he got out. And he's going to a team that is likely going to win a Super Bowl. So he's going to get everything he wanted. Bro, I have like a hair on my nose and it is annoying the hell out of me. Yeah, Dahi, it needs to hold. Like we have ES at yesterday's low here coming into it. But the thesis off the beginning of the stream is working well, that 3-bar play into a very slow, methodical downtrend. That is working flawlessly. So let's see how this 10 p.m. open goes. See if we get a little bit of an extra push down here. Say giveaway 5 times and then keep talking about football. Hell yeah. That's the cool thing though, is with these streams, every single one of us is going to have our own stream kind of developed around what we like to talk about, which is sick. But no, this time too, we usually drop off because people are going to bed. Joe, that might be the wildest range of sports I've seen someone talk about. Lacrosse, pickleball, and sometimes baseball. Interesting. New 4-hour chart? Yep. And that's exactly why I said basically the only way for me to long is if we got some crazy news candle with a 4-hour full reversed. Now, if I'm even remotely thinking about longs, this is a 4-hour chart that I'm long. This is a 5-minute. I mean, unless you're playing a support hold, I don't see any type of potential long in this, in the slightest. We could easily continue to build up a little bit of a range here. Hourly did get that nice little consolidation bar for the most part. See if we get that slow trend still, or if we just build out a base here around yesterday's low. I don't hate the idea of building a base throughout the next few hours to give us that like pre-London Allen area continuation. Oil is just weak, dude. It's interesting. That correlation is like fully decoupled this week. See you, Adrian. Oh, my Cowboys. I'll probably just close my eyes here. Pete, please tell me you guys are keeping George Pickens. Because the favorite people for me to bet on in the world is George Pickens with the Cowboys. Because my God, did that trade from the Steelers to the Cowboys really highlight him. I feel like the Cowboys are very like the Steelers, though. They're a really good. They're slightly better than the Steelers, though. The Steelers are the greatest 500 team out there, and the Cowboys are like the greatest just over 500 team, where they can't make it past the playoffs, but they can pretty much guarantee the first round. It's usually first round and out. Think you have franchise tag? Beautiful. Yeah, Tunk, I'm going to pay attention to that more so as well. The reason I like to do it was I love to trade that negative correlation. Even if you say DXY, it doesn't line up. DXY and oil are kind of correlating together for the most part. Whereas, or are you talking about DXY and oil? Because it should be DXY and the dollar should be negatively correlating. Or DXY and the indices should be negatively correlating. All the indices are trending lower. DXY is flat. So even this isn't showing that negative correlation. Correlations just aren't existent at the moment. Jerry kills me sometimes. Yeah. He's on a 1-year, $27.3 million. Dude, that's insane. It's just crazy money. I wouldn't even say that's a lot. For what he put up last year, I wouldn't. When you're talking elite wide receivers are getting like 45 mil a year, 40 mil a year, I wouldn't say 27 is crazy for Pickens. With the numbers he put up last year, I'd say that's like on par. What up, Bugs? Fuck, Jay. That's tough. So what you're essentially saying in that point, because Jake and Allen wouldn't do it, so it'd be me versus Lamelli. Lamelli's got some. He's a beefy dude. I'll give it to him. He's a beefy fucking dude. Yeah, Tunk, 100%. It has the higher time frame negative correlation. But even so, this isn't. Well, let's see. I mean, not as much as I'd want it to, but I know for a fact this has a negative correlation. I do. But this has also been going very well with it. So I'm excited for when oil finally picks it back up for the most part. But right now, it's not picking it up. What I would like to see is the indices push back lower and oil get that buying pressure back up to like 92.45. Melly is Popeye. Zay, don't fucking pause me. Don't you dare bring that on me. I'll probably look to wrap up sooner on the 3-hour mark because, to be honest, all we've done so far is yap for 3 hours straight. Called out, really nice trade here, just didn't take it. I think I've probably just been a little, I wouldn't even say too cautious because outside of this trade, I haven't wanted to take anything. You're in that Ninja Trader competition? Hell yeah. See you, kill it. Jay, sometimes Chad has the craziest questions. The fucking craziest. Jay, that might be the greatest compliment I've ever gotten. Might be the greatest compliment I've ever gotten. Keeps it interesting. Well, some of them are just insane. I love the random conversations for sure. That's why I yap about it. It's been vibes. Appreciate you, Zero. No, I mean, that's why I like this stream because it's basically just me chatting with you guys while we're looking to take trades. And sometimes you guys trade the trades we talk about. These charts look like they want to go lower. They do. I would at least expect a spike lower just based off the 4-hour. If this just inside barred up to like 600, I wouldn't even be interested in trading it. I would probably rather see a spike down into like 70. Give me that push, and then we go off of that. I can't see any thesis for me personally for any type of long other than something that is just fully degenerate. So many changes, didn't catch a single leg down. Now just waiting for the upside. What is your analysis right now? Yeah, Joker. I mean, when that happens for me, it's a cash session and you just got to accept it. Like I said, I talked about this one. I ended up not taking it. With me not taking that, at that point, I'm pretty much just hands on. So I'm just kind of waiting. At this point, what I need to do, when you look at this hourly, I mean, we went from all-time highs to damn near new lows since Thursday. But damn near new lows, that's not something I'm looking along at all, right? I'm just going to wait because even if I want a short, what would I want? Probably a 4-hour consolidation bar or a couple hourly candles going sideways. So for me, what I would want to do is immediately wait. Give me that 4 hours. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What does that do? That takes us right to the Allen stream open, which we talked about, where that might be the move that happens. So I think that's probably going to be more so the key aspect. But if we do push lower here, then we can look for that continuation. Mainly because like RTY and YM also kind of look shitty. But we are at a really big support on ES. So I'd be kind of shocked if we just rip through yesterday's lows. Like if we just break through and break 70, I think we're in a bit of trouble. But if we build a consolidation that looks even better for bears, build a consolidation, maybe an overhead support at like 82 to 88, somewhere in this area, build this range, break the lows later on in the night session or maybe tomorrow. That's where I'd look for that bearish continuation. So far though, we are just, I believe we're just a full inside bar on the daily. Yeah. We're close to breaking, but we're still a daily inside bar until ES gets below 76.25. Oh my God, I've been trying to cancel my affiliate with Apex since we started stream, and they're finally terminating it. Wow, it's about time. Dude, my affiliate rep was the worst. I will say that one guy, the worst. Emailed him like 3 times. He didn't reply to me a single time. And I replied to his emails with those emails. So now I am fully under RT. Which, if you want to trade Apex or you want to trade any prop firms, code RAKE or code RT will give you the biggest discount available. We're back with My Funded Futures. We are back with Apex, and we are back with, I think, Funded Futures Family. Well, we're starting out with Funded Futures Family. So those are 3 firms that we are affiliates with right now as well. Biggest P&L last year. Let's take a little gander. So last year, I mean, biggest run for sure from last year was 12 on options was 12,000 in a week. Or in 2 weeks. On futures, I think it was like an 8K day, somewhere around there. No, Polar Bear, I've only had 1 day around there. My biggest day is 26.3K. That was 2.5 years ago. And since then, I've gotten over 10K, I think twice, maybe twice. What did you do after that? Chased the hype and lost $7,500 like 3 days later. Yeah, it was bad, but that was snow. I was in snow 0 days, and holy hell, I just hit Mind Bro at space. Hell yeah, Zay. But no, I still remember the trade. It was probably the best execution I've had. It was the best execution I had on a given trade up to that time. And then my problem was I made 26.3K-ish across 2 accounts. And with that account, or with those 2 accounts, I think I had 6K in them total. I think. And I only withdrew it to the point where I still had like 16K in the accounts, which I had no reason leaving that much in them. And I tried to trade way more aggressively based off the size I had in my accounts, which I shouldn't have done. And mistakes were made. But I still kept the majority of it. But yeah, I lost a lot. That was my biggest loss, which was like 3 days after my biggest win ever. Joe, I would just message support. I believe that's what you have to do if it doesn't give you the activation. I would try that, and then if not, try to go from there. But yeah, I'd message support. Usually they're good about it. Holy shit, Doug. Was that the COVID sell-off? Averaged 13 to 15K per day. I'm not gonna lie, dude. If I made 280K in a month, I probably would only allow myself to trade like a 5K account after that, because I know I would oversize. I know wholeheartedly. I would put everything as much as I could into a shares account, give the password to someone else, and have like just give like my brother the account and be like, change the password. Do not give me this password for a year, and just leave that. I like that would probably be the first thing I did, because I know there'd be times where I would be like, you know what, I need to size up a little bit. Wire in 10 grand. Yeah, Doug, I mean, it's easy as hell to say now, right? But also, you just heard my story about me having my biggest day ever. So, like, it's all hindsight until you're in the moment. I think one of the wildest things is people will look at my biggest day. And it was crazy because Jake was also streaming, and I told him live on stream that it happened because we were streaming, I think, on WAP or in the Discord. And I told him, and I felt nothing at all. It was weird. You would think it would be like a crazy euphoric thing, like, holy shit, I just made half of my prior annual salary. And it just felt like a normal day. Completely. Zay, I saw you've been crushing these oddball names. You're missing the handle aspect. Because the handle would be a pullback like here for a higher low at like 12 or 12.5. But no, I mean, it looks good. Monthly looks fire. Something I'm paying a lot of attention to right now on stocks is the monthly and 3 month. Pay attention to those at the moment. Because if the monthly looks good for continuation, you can start to anticipate a multi-time frame analysis, what the 3 months should look like for the most part. And then you give it that overall look to be like, okay, now I can take a broader swing on this. And that's kind of what I'm looking for, is broader swings that I can take on certain trades. I took leaps leaps are not 47 days out. That's just a swing trade, brother. Leaps are like 8 months plus. A month and a half is just a swing. It's like me saying, yeah, dude, I'm taking a hell of a swing trade, and I'm just trading it from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You know, so I know. We all are, don't worry. POTR looking good on the monthly. Did I mark that one? Steve, I still have names because of you on my watch list. I think D-Dog and then CRWV. Because I know you're the Steve from Discord. At least I feel like you're the Steve from Discord. PLTR monthly does look good. Monthly, 3 months. See, look, like this. So if you go PLTR, weekly, if we break out on the weekly here and get this continuation, you look for that potential push on the monthly, which would be a monthly buy triggering. Let's say you target 180 on the monthly, which makes logical sense to get up there. Then you look at the 3 month. 3 month would be a failure to go lower, higher low buy setup up towards all-time highs. At that point, where should it go? 220s, you know? Alan, I got full liquidadoed on crypto, and I have not traded crypto since. When you get rugged by your crypto broker, you kind of lose hope for the crypto world for the most part. I was in, all my crypto was in Voyager. So once that happened, I have not bought crypto again. I'll trade coin, but that's not really buying like crypto. Yeah, I got broker liquidated. And unfortunately, that was just part of the game back then. Tongue. And I'll talk about my whole, like, my outlook on crypto. And this is the hardest part for me with Bitcoin. Now, mind you, do I think Bitcoin could have value? Yeah, sure. Because a lot of nations are buying it, so it's going to have some value. But right now, this monthly chart looks fucking horrible, dude. This looks horrible. To long. And this is the one thing that I can't wrap my head around with crypto is when we were retesting like this 100-ish area. Every big crypto guy everyone that's like long-term crypto that I know was saying crypto can go to 50K, crypto can go to 30K. And I'm just going to keep buying on the way down. If I'm in an asset and I think it's going to go down 50 to 70%, I would just sell the asset and then buy it as it goes lower. But for some reason with crypto, everyone just bag holds and then just buys as it goes lower. Like if they were fully convinced it's going to 50 or 30K. If I'm in something, it's going down 70% on my speculation. I would liquidate it, buy the lows, and if it gets back up there, I have 3 times the amount that I had. Like that's just the only aspect I don't get about crypto bros that I see in a lot of places. Is they'll say this is going to pull back this massive amount and I'm just going to bag hold it. And I get it. Like if it holds, yeah, then they'd be irritated they sold it. Like that's just the part that I don't get. Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're talking about. Well, Tunk, the people that I know, they're not like early term. They're not like, oh my God, I bought Bitcoin before it was even technically like Bitcoin, whatever. They're like, I bought in from like 60 to 120,000 and they just bought in consistently on the way up, you know? So it's more so that perspective. Unless you're saying, because that's what I'm taking from the cost basis 1,000 aspect of yours, is you're saying like they have it at 1,000. Which I could be interpreting completely wrong. Polar Bear, you took your, well, if you think about it, the overall cost on Disney if they're closing the parks is going to drastically dump. Zay, that's the Bitcoin, I will say, is probably one of the easiest charts to analyze. I've been deeply doing analysis on this chart on stream a lot of times, especially in Discord. Like we talked about this broader short and this short on Discord. And I even put a reel out that it's going to 72. And I got told immediately it's never going to break 85. Never. On Instagram, which we all know people on Instagram are fucking dumb, right? People on social media in the comments are usually dumb. But someone told me it's never going below 85. It has never been above 85 since then. But no, I feel like Bitcoin is one of the easiest charts to do technical analysis on. Like if you're a TA trader, this is probably one of the most straightforward charts to chart out there. What do the higher time frames look like? Ooh, that 3 month is, that's tough. Because what I would see here, I mean, if we close this an inside bar over the next month, which right now, this monthly looks like it's probably going to try to go lower. What does the weekly look like? Weekly could try to hold some support around like 66-ish. But if that monthly does try to go lower down to here, you're going to be looking at the 3 month as a more of a consolidative upper wick inside bar. At that point, it kind of makes sense for it to go down and test like 60,000 again. And you're retesting this prior all-time high-ish. What does a 6 month look like? 6 month can still recover, so that's fine. Yearly is what it is. Yeah. So I could see Bitcoin just building out like this. And I know it has its cycles or whatever, which I don't understand, but I could see that playing out on Bitcoin for a little bit, a couple months. But I feel like that is one of the easiest charts to chart in the world. Like it trades so smooth. Appreciate you, Adam. Huge bear figure on the daily. Yeah. Zay, I would love a 60K fair to go lower on it. It'd be cool to trade Bitcoin futures. Probably could. I wonder if you can trade that on prop firms. Oh my God, you can trade Bitcoin on prop firms? Hold up. We can get spicy. If we want to go DGen hours, we go DGen hours. Talk about a whole new game. Russell, I hope you at least had a little bit. That's fair, Polar Bear. Yeah, it is, Joker. I think the craziest thing to me, though, as well, is everyone's saying it's decentralized because it technically is. But then when you have all the major countries buying a shitload of Bitcoin, it's not necessarily decentralized anymore because they would start to control and be able to manipulate it. But the wildest thing to think about is if the dollar wasn't just backed by the US, like just the fact that we're the power nation in the world, Bitcoin theoretically would have more value than the dollar, because besides that, the dollar is backed by nothing. And at least Bitcoin has a finite value, right? Only so many can be made. But I'm still not, like, I'm not a diehard crypto person at all. I barely know enough about it in the slightest. JT, I truly don't think that I want to trade single stock futures. And I can be proven horribly wrong here. And I know I've talked about it before, so some of you guys are going to hear the repetitiveness. But with single stock futures, like right now, if you go to trade, let's say the RTY, you can tell it's lower volume because of the overall gaps that are on this price action. Same with the YM. And I believe gold's been doing that as well today, where you're getting a lot of lower time frame gaps. Not as bad here, but earlier on it was terrible. And if we bring in, I think it's like 50 something names, the volume's got to be spread out across all of those names. My fear is just lower volume during the overnight session on those. And if there's that low of volume that I anticipate, I wouldn't be interested in trading them at all. I think it could be fun during New York, 100%. I'm worried about the volume during Asia for the most part. See you, Jason. I didn't even realize I've gone 3.5 hours. I should probably end soon. The thing with Bitcoin is it does not trade like futures. If you really buy it and hold it in a cold wallet, you're paying fees every time you buy and sell it. It's not as easy to buy and sell it IRL. That makes sense, future. Do you not get tired? Oh, I do, but then I just drink caffeine. Tunk, that makes sense. Yeah, JT, that's just my biggest fear with it. It sounds like a great concept. But my thing is, I think during the overnight session, volume is going to be exponentially low because we already have indices that are low. I drink coffee, Polar Bear. I'm trying to wean out on the energy drinks a little bit. We take out New York low on NQ. We can. It just might take a little bit. Because in theory, like I said, like we're getting that overall consolidation I talked about. It wouldn't shock me if we just didn't hit that and we sat in a wider consolidation. Because I can tell you right now, bears are probably seething to see this break and us break yesterday's low and trigger on the daily and get that push. I think we can easily test it. It might just take a little bit. Might need a little bit more of an hourly consolidation because you do have to remember on the hourly, when you include New York, we have sold off 55 points on ES and 370 on NQ. So we're likely going to get some buying pressure, especially when we get near this massive support. Give it a little bit of time, maybe like another hourly consolidation bar, and then we get that push lower. We're not far on NQ. I mean, we're 60 points. ES is quite literally 3 points away. So I would expect at least ES to test. We'll see about NQ for now. Thanks for everything, G, including Myles Garrett. I don't think that was necessary. I don't think that part of the thanks for everything was necessary to put in the thanks for everything aspect. I think that could have been left out and we could have had ourselves a great night. Just a wonderful fucking night. I journal when I need to. No, Alan, there can always be adjustments to my trading strategy. Always. Because the market's shifting regularly. Right? There's going to be times where, like right now, or last week, I traded a heavy divergence or the negative correlation between the indices and oil. And it worked every single day flawlessly like clockwork. And then you go into this week and it's not there. It's non-existent at the moment. So I immediately have to automatically shift how I want to trade this week based off how I was trading last week. And I don't have to change like my trading strategy, but I have to change what I'm primarily looking at overall. And I just got to focus on different parameters there until that picks up a little bit more. But no, I think there's always going to be tweaks in your trading strategy because the market's continuously shifting. Let's say we get another reaction where the war, like we pick up volatility like the war did again and VIX is up at 25. You have to change your strategy, right? You got to change the way you're looking to trade just because of, and you have to make big tweaks, but you have to make little tweaks. But no, I'm always doing stuff like that and looking at it and just looking at little shifts I can make to better it because I'm nowhere near where I could be with trading. I still have a lot of work to do, 100%. But I don't journal like every single day. Like I'm not back testing every single trade. What I do is simply yesterday, I'll look back on the trades and see what I could have done differently or what I probably did wrong. Yesterday, I think I just got a little too stabby while we were in that consolidation. After the first trade, I probably should have waited a little bit longer and just waited for that range to break. And now I just look back on it and now I'm just a little more patient if we're range bound. JT, I would like to see the support hold. I would just love to see the failure go lower on ES. The problem is NQ did start to do it already. So we might not need that on ES. And the crazy thing is NQ can still set an hourly higher low here. NQ sold off 370 points and we can set a higher low, which is fucking nuts. But no, we're still fully daily inside bar, so I have no reason to be overly bearish. If we get below yesterday's low and retest tomorrow and then hold below and push towards prior all-time highs, I'll be more so bearish. For now, though, we are in a wider daily range, which is kind of what we anticipated going into the week. It just build out a wide daily range unless we break last week's range, which we are now back below. We're now back below last week's high on ES and NQ. So for me, while we're below that, I lean more so towards like a broader range. I think I might go ahead and start wrapping it up because we are at the 3 hour and 30 minute mark on the 2 hour stream. So we're a little bit over, which is kind of crazy not taking a trade. It's one of our longest streams. With that though, I don't think there's anything that I'm overly interested in trading at the moment. I think patience can be good. I'll probably give it like another hourly close, see how that reacts, and then trade off of it. The slight divergence with NQ failed to go lower is interesting to keep an eye on because it spiked that 4-hour low. That could be enough to push us back higher. So I'll definitely keep an eye on it, see if that's going to get some buying pressure overall, especially with oil being relatively weaker so far. See if that correlation picks up again a little bit. See you, Polar Bear. 10-day MA sits at 29,900. Do you think we can touch there tomorrow or Wednesday? Tomorrow is tricky. The hard part for me is like, can we touch there? Yeah, right. And it's because when you look at it, we're 400 points away pretty much. We sold off 400 from the highs already. It's possible. It's hard for me to anticipate a break of this range on NQ or this support on NQ and this support on ES until it actually breaks, you know, because until that actually breaks with confirmation below, we're just sitting in daily ranges, right? We're in daily inside bars at the moment. So I just lean more so towards range. If we get, let's say, a 4-hour consolidation candle by New York, we're below yesterday's low, and we don't get back above it, then yes, I would definitely lean lower for sure. I would 100% be leaning more so lower, especially because we're already below last week's high. So we have the weekly fair to go higher. We'd be breaking below today's low, which would give us that daily structure break as well on the lower time or on the finite candles. And at that point, we just look for that continuation. Why do I have 2 yesterday's lows on NQ? There. Yeah, I think it's possible. I think we may just need time. I don't think we're going to break right away, which I think a lot of people want to happen. I'm really interested to see how we react here in the next like hour or two, especially with ES coming down, testing this support. NQ's near the support, but also spiked the prior 4-hour low and is now holding. So I think that's something I'm really interested in just keeping an eye on and watching for a little bit and then see how we react to it. Appreciate you too, Ray. But for those of you that stayed on this whole time, I appreciate you. What I should do with Jake, I'll talk to him and just be like, hey, if I do a 3.5 or 4-hour stream, those that stay on get a giveaway at the end. But with that though, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up stream. Y'all have a great rest of the night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Alan is on in 2.5 hours, 1 a.m. Eastern for Mr. A Zhang stream. And then we're back on the normal cycle starting tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. Y'all have a great rest of the night.